Hello, and welcome to our director's commentary of this last session of Chibi-Robo Clean Sweep. The first thing you might notice is that the words you are hearing do not match up with the dude sitting in the bottom left of the screen. That is because I'm recording this a couple days later after our play session. Due to technical issues, the audio did not record and make it into Twitch, so I am doing a post gameplay record of it so that there is some sort of audio backing to the actual experience of this video. I'm explaining it in the corner here that some of the particulars of how I've just changed the audio setup. Basically, the headset that I had been using up until this point is falling apart. You might even be able to see that in the last couple sessions. The ear pad on the left ear is almost completely fallen off. Um, and so I need a new pair of headphones. I'm experimenting with an old wired set that I just happen to have lying around. In order to make it work with some of the janky audio setup that I use for this, in order to both simultaneously stream the game to Gooms as well as to Twitch, I kind of have a janky setup with OBS and Streamlabs, and it works, but the consequence of that is I need to be able to divide the audio channels for it. My last headset had stuff in place to do that automatically. Now I have to use a soundboard for it, and I have it working, but as I set that up, I had one thing set wrongly so that audio wouldn't actually send to Twitch. It's kind of confusing. Audio was recording on the desktop recordings that I was using, but it was not actually going to Twitch. Ended up being a fairly simple fix. There's just I think the Twitch VOD channel in Streamlabs was configured wrongly. So that was just a matter of going in, setting it up, making sure that that was coming out okay. Um, and that should be in place for the next record, but it did leave us in a bit of a pickle for this one. Gooms and I talked about it. We considered just uploading it silently, so that and just having a note at the front. But given what this game is, a fan translation of a fairly obscure Japanese only game, it didn't really sit right with me to have uh, purportedly have a full experience of this game that had 3.5 hours just completely dead silent with nothing to it. So I'm at least doing it. We decided I'd do this audio record just so, like I said, so there's something to it. So at this point, I've noticed that these frame portraits along the wall here, um, each of these are from some of our, if you remember the little standees we've been seeing out in the world, this is us taking pictures of them. Huh. Your eyes are completely closed on that one, huh? Well, it doesn't matter. Looking at this photo sure brings back memories. Yes, I'm gonna do voices for new lines, including the characters that Gooms usually voices. This, of course, is from us exploring inside the sink. There's a little standee of the mermaid. You can finally move underwater. Am I the only one who is moved by this splendid achievement? Looking at this photo sure brings back memories. See. And then this, of course, we took in the refrigerator at the top of the little platforming challenge. So a lot of these seem to be tied to. So some of them are ones that already exist in the world, but some of them also seem to be tied to the furniture that we get through the television shopping channel and such. So um, uh, probably as we continue to expand our catalog, we'll see more of those. That time was so cold, but we're robots, so we couldn't really feel the temperature. Looking at this photo sure brings back memories. My tele voice is slowly slipping into the caricature voice I give for my girlfriend's dog whenever we're hanging out. So she's kind of this prima donna greyhound, so very much like that. Telly, I was supposed to start out more just anxious, but he's kind of slipped into that voice. So, what are you gonna do? Um, so with this re-record, I'm going to try to remember the different moments we experienced as we were playing through this. I personally felt like I made a couple big realizations about the game itself as we went through. So I'll try to remember to note them as we encounter them throughout. Right here, though, just we left the last session with not a lot of house watts, so Tully just has us on the hook for topping the family back off with these. Nothing super, super fancy. Um, an issue I'm sure I'm going to run into this is there's lots of stretches of just us vacuuming and such where during the course of the gameplay we didn't have a whole lot of commentary because you're just vacuuming, but gonna have to try and fill that in. Hey, you, Chibi. Somehow the hallway has become sparkling clean. It's all thanks to your cleaning. You've really helped us out. By the way, giving Lucky a wash sure is a lot of work, don't you think? Yes, it is. It was even more tough when we didn't even have a shower. And that's all she has to say. I can't remember if I noted here or I noted later, but it is a bit weird that we've just been seeing her at home a lot lately during the day. I don't know if we're catching her on a weekend or what, but little bit of a concern. Let's see. So with the vacuuming here, I'm telling you, we're going to be doing a lot of vacuuming this session, so buckle on down for that. It's you, you really fall into an interesting cadence with just how much there is to this whole vacuuming process. Um, like it's something that's eh, it's interesting as kind of a crossroads of a lot of the different systems to the game, where it's something that you have to do in order to uh, in order to clean up. Chibi-Robo is there to clean, um, but it's also there for you to make money. That's how you get your money from vacuuming and sifting through the silts for like little gold nuggets or whatever. Um, you can see me struggling to remember. Wait, which one do I hit here in order to get to the sieve? I'm sure you've noticed in previous sessions that I've accidentally gone for the wrong one there. Um, there's an interesting cadence with so you have to do this as part of the overall verb of cleaning. You also have to do this in order to make money. Uh, but of course, you have to use house energy in order to do this. So you have to constantly top off the house energy. If you spend a lot of time just vacuuming, as we will in this session, at least in the front half of this session, then you have to start dipping into the bags of dust in order to power the house as well as fund the vacuuming. Um, so it's interesting because it really exists as a big confluence of the mechanical themes that this game is going for. And I feel like that's a design space that didn't really exist um, for the original Chibi-Robo. Mostly a consequence of you're not worried about paying for the family's needs there. At most, you're saving up money to or energy to charge up Giga Robo's batteries. But in this case, the family house is quite dependent on you, um, or at least pretty close to being dependent on you. So there's just an interesting cadence to a lot of that at play here. Let's see. Da, 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 Here I'm trying to decide what to do. Um, Early on in this session, we were trying to puzzle out what angle we want to tackle a lot of this stuff. Um, we you ultimately we settle on at least beginning by doing a lot of cleaning of the living room and having that be our primary focus to begin with. Uh, you see, we expand that out as it goes on, but you are going to be just watching a dude vacuum his living room for a while yet. Um, but yes, let's see, let's see. At this point, I definitely was sitting pretty in terms of cable extension. I think we were at 240 at this point, which 240 centimeters at this point. So the game, it's interesting just how much the game really feels like it starts to expand in scope the more that you get the upgrades for Chibo and a lot of those new abilities and such. We saw, I believe, last session we really saw how much helpful Telly opens up this household, this game world, um, and the chord lengths, Chibi's chord lengths aren't quite as dramatic as that. At least in each respective instance, since you're only getting 30 extra centimeters at a time, but it does add up quite a bit. Let's see, at this point, I think I'm trying to decide where up I should go, since there's still a lot of verticality to this room that we hadn't yet explored. Boy, it really is a little distracting that that cursor I have on there. I made the decision to because that's if you haven't streamed, that's you can either choose to display cursor or not within OBS or Streamlabs or whatever. I chose to do so to represent what I'm doing with the metaphorical stylus at any given point. Um, I suppose, unfortunately, it does kind of mean that there are just stretches of the game where you're seeing Chibo chase after that and stuff. I know it's regarded as a bit tacky in LPs to, in like emulation LPs to just have the cursor on there, but I do, like I said, I think it's useful to have some sort of visual elements of that for conveyance to the viewer. I do think it's really interesting dynamic having the system where you have to set up the outlets. Like I don't fully get the mechanics of how that's working. I'm not much of an electrician. I've helped my pops swap out wiring and outlets here and there, but anyway, I think it's an interesting dynamic where um, if you want to think of this game as somewhat Metroidvania-ish, and I'm sure that's just a pretty easy stereotype to just, oh, this is a Metroidvania game. Um, then there's um, it's an interesting design space where that's just a constant consideration of this design and how all that works. Let's see, how do I? Okay. Past me doesn't realize here that I could have just climbed directly up. I didn't need to hop on that second drawer. Oh no, this stream isn't going to be mostly me criticizing myself, is it? I'll do my best. But I know there's a couple things that I blank on in a little bit here that I'll be sure to call out. Let's see. Okay, so at this point, I start getting a little bit confused because to me, it feels like the game is just calling a bunch of things or pausing to articulate a bunch of things as being sparkly clean. But there is a purpose to it, and I'm sure you, the viewer at home, have cottoned on to it. But in case you haven't, I spell it out in a little bit here. see. So at this point, I try making that jump, but quickly realize, oh, right, this game does not let Chibi-Robo jump. There, I disentangle myself to explore down here. There we go. Good job, me. You did it. You found the thing. Let's see. Hmm? Oh, I think I was trying to look at how much money I had at that point. I'm At the moment, I'm not sure how you just. Oh, wait, no, I know how you check money off the cuff. What I should be doing is I should be hitting status in the top row there. Um, I That one I don't figure out until the very end, but is whatever. I'm never really paying attention to the little dance Chibo's doing here. It's kind of just rocks back and forth, don't he? Like it's not just in place, he's kind of jiving back and forth. That's cute. He's a cute robot. Yep, so here's me still trying to figure out how much money I have. I've at least figured out a janky approach to it where I uh, get money here in order to get a readout here. Out of the box thinking is something. So not a hell of a lot of money. I forget what I was looking to spend it on at this point. Let's see if I go back to the TV. All right. My first order of business is to power up House Watts. It's a little weird. I feel like there's some trash in this game that gives a lot of watts and some trash that gives a little watts and like no middle ground. But all right, here we go. So now that I've taken care of some business, I'm going to try and do clean up that other shelf here since there's dust there. And I'm going to warn you, you're going to see me putz around a bit with this. So here I'm trying to get. Well, first here I get distracted. I'm like, oh, there's a higher shelf. Well, I should go to the higher shelf. Maybe I'll go here. What am I doing? Jeez Louise. Right. So here I'm encountering an interesting some of the game's design that it has interfacing with how the chords work and how the chord intersects with stuff. It's kind of interesting. So it the chords connect to furniture at specific angles. So there's actually a decent amount of geometry that you have to think through in order to get be able to climb up stuff. So like if I had Telly, there you go, Con. If I just had Telly go there, I would be able to climb up without issue. And I eventually figure out that I can have Telly climb up here without issue. Wait for it, wait for it. Or even up there. But I'm impatient and I really want to get to this top shelf because there are stickers here. In this moment, I'm forgetting what I use stickers for. I just like the idea of stickers. And there's also that curious briefcase there that I want to know more about. So go on. Do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, I've run into the issue of reaching the end of my length, which is indeed 240 centimeters at this point. And it's just too far away for me to really take advantage of it. So, um, if I had the ability to, come on, little dude, if I had the ability to upgrade my plug length, my cord length, I keep making that mistake. If I had the ability to upgrade my cord length even just a tiny bit, I would have been able to make that specific climb. Um, Actually, no. I think even then I would have struggled a bit since I was getting myself tangled on that lower set of shelves. So then I'm like, okay, well, obviously I have to get on top of this briefcase, and maybe that would have worked. But Goom's like, dude, you're just making this more complicated, which is also fair. Here I discover that I've run into the same issue as before, getting that hitched on there. Now, what I really should be doing, you can see that, well, I mess up there. Like a dummy, I fall into the drawer and like, oh, what I really, the way you kind of work around it is if you walk out far enough, I'm doing a visual with my hands, that's not going to mean anything to you. If you walk out far enough from the piece of furniture, um, your cord will unhitch, and then you're able to resettle upon where that's connecting. All right. In this moment, uh, so I personally do not have ADHD, but I imagine this is a game that is very difficult for someone with ADHD just because there keep being little things to distract someone. And like, oh, wait, there's this thing to take care of. Well, I should take care of this. Oh, there's this thing. I should take care of this. And again, here you see the game is acknowledging that this easy chair is sparkly clean. And I'm like, well, to this point, I had really only been clocking when the game observed that a room was sparkly clean. So this is throwing me a little bit. Like I said, I do. I think Gooms actually picks up on it a bit quicker than me here, um, where he understands that the game is acknowledging distinct pieces of furniture rather than the entire rooms. But anyway, so um, whereas I could make it up to that shelf from that previous outlet from where I was at, Gooms and I realized that this will be a hell of a lot easier if I use this helpful telly spot on top of the fireplace, since there's a lot less climbing to be had. But first, a little brief excursion, doing some vacuuming. I think the way that they have it organized where you're cleaning up dust is like I appreciate that they don't make you clean up every single particle of dust here, but I do also think it's a bit distracting, or it's like they have you do 98% of the dust in any dust pile, which is which I always feel like I do the big perimeter of stuff, and then at the end, I'm like, okay, what did I miss? There's friggin' stuff over here that I haven't seen. For me personally, depending on the room, it gets tricky because the dust actually blends into it. We'll see that in a little bit here. But uh, but yeah, I think like if it was like even a little bit less, like 95%, and the game's like, okay, we get it, you cleaned it. Um, I personally would have fewer issues, but like you're vacuuming, you got to work for it. I guess it's whatever. Oh, now here I panic because I'm trying to scramble on up, and unfortunately uh the alarm has gone off saying that it's the end of day. So like I'm like, well, how's it going? How you doing? But then Gooms helpfully reminds me that I am still draining battery just existing. So annoyingly, I do make it up to the shelf, but that's good night time. So uh we resolved there. Okay, well tomorrow we're gonna have to just friggin' or tonight we're just gonna have to friggin' get up there. Blah blah blah. And we have now passed into triple digits. Yay, triple digits. Oh my goodness. get the level up. These start coming in a bit less frequently now that we're in the top 1,000. Wonderful, wonderful. Celebration of you entering the top 1,000. A bonus has arrived from Citrusoft. The game kind of draws this out every time, I feel, because it's always just an extra 200 watt. Excuse me. Jeez Louise, would that we could. 20 watts up to 200. As well as the cord length being able to go up by 30 centimeters, in this case to 270. This is the thing I'm really excited about because now we finally have reached the maximum cycle length of 15 minutes. You'll recall that was also the maximum cycle length within the original Chibi-Robo. Oh. Among the top in the Chibi-Robo rankings of blah blah blah, they will all become your rivals. In case your rank doesn't seem to increase, then try to increase every room's separate sparkle rate until it reaches 100%. Let's strive to reach Chibi-Robo rank 1. By the way, gosh, I really opened my mouth wide doing this voice. Oh, whatever. What was I saying? Original Chibi-Robo, 15 minutes per. I appreciate that they've added the extra divisions of 7.5 minutes and 12.5 minutes. It's little stuff, but it really does help a bit. All right, in this moment, I've learned absolutely nothing from my previous excursion with struggling with the cord length and decide, no, I don't need it for now. It actually does work out now. I'm being a little disingenuous with myself. The main thing that I've learned is that I can totally meet the maximum length if I approach it from a different angle. So that ends up being my strategy at this point here. Grabbing a ghosty. Here I flagrantly have no regard whatsoever for energy and lazily fling my cord over the foot distance or whatever, rather than just schlep on up and plug that sucker in. I think, given how often you have to sieve while vacuuming, the game would probably benefit from sticking a redundant sieve button on one of those higher menus. Like, if it's... Where would it make sense? Maybe a contextual one where after you've just put away the vacuum, the game just offers that as an option. Or alternatively, if while you are vacuuming, that is an option, and then you do have to deal with the animation of Chibo putting the vacuum away and then pulling out the sieve. I just think that would be a little bit of user experience that would be a lot more helpful. Again, given just how much you're doing this specific action in the context of vacuuming. And this audio commentary pauses as I, the guy in the future, take a drink. Bluggledy, bluggledy, blah. I do sort of miss the in the previous game, or in the first game, when Telly would have his party poppers, and then you would be able to clean those up. I do miss that as a little thing here. One, it was funny that Telly was littering, but also to just a little way of getting some extra clean stuff, or extra cool guy points, happy points. Um, but I do appreciate at least that something akin to that exists where you shake the sieve and are able to clean up after yourself, but only if you act quickly enough. Let's see. Where does he go now? Okay. Now here, I'm not sure why I got distracted with that specific dust pile in the corner, but here I remember, oh right, that shelf. I was going to get that shelf. Part of me thinks that they overdo it with these weird little dust yokai ghost dudes. The game just keeps lumping them after you. But at the same time, a big part of um, I guess that's also part of the resource management aspect of it, where yeah, you do have to deal with them and they're annoying, but they also contribute to the various resource systems the game has at play. You can give them to the Don for some greed, I think, or you can friggin' cast them into perdition by recycling their essence in the garbage can, to mix metaphors a bit. All right, take two. Let's see if old Connor of the past figures this one out. They're like, oh, well, there's a thing. Right. So this one we don't figure out within the span of this session. Obviously, the game has a way that it wants us to grab those those floating hearts. Um, you'll see us experiment a little bit here with trying to figure out how we're supposed to tackle that, but yeah, not within the scope of this session. Sad to say. Now here I make a mistake and I walk over this, and I'm like, well, why are we dragging this out? But really, it would have been helpful, and I got some monies. Feel a little bad about this. This, more than anything else, flagrantly feels like I'm taking from poor Jenny. Um, but about here, and Goom's caught it right away, but about here, I'm like, oh, you dumbass. If you're going to try and get the friggin' hearts down there, you should have kept Telly up here. So I try flinging it, but hearts, friggin' disembodied hearts aren't applicable. I'm like, do I have anything else? No. Okay. Uh, Definitely parts of this. It would be nice if the propeller from the first game still existed, but I also really find the system with helpful telly more interesting overall. So generally, it's a sacrifice that I'm content with. You do lose out on some of the specific platforming challenges, though, or it becomes very different sort of platforming challenges. I guess weirdly like sort of your Bionic Commando design space, where it's a platformer where you can't jump. Let's see here. So here I'm like, okay, well, I'll just set up Tully here, and then I'll boss him around later. But Gooms rightfully points out, no, dingus, that ain't gonna fly. Hmm. I think I might know what I'm supposed to do for that now. You're going to see me futz a bit, trying to get Telly just in place, since I have this at kind of a dumb camera angle. There we go. It is a little better, but at a certain point, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to have to deal with this. Here you slowly drift while gravity takes hold. I think what I'm supposed to do here, maybe with the original placement, I actually had a decent idea. And I'm supposed to initially get Telly on that far leg, but then I kind of hover him over such that uh, basically Chibo's able to climb up, run on the shelf, drop down, and then Telly's roughly in that spot, so I'm able to hit this like a pendulum. The 16 spots of dirt are deceptive. We'll see what that's about in a little bit here. But like at this point, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I drop down and I have to swing like a pendulum, but the game doesn't really operate like that from this height. However, if I'm on the other leg of this shelf and try to drop down from there, maybe that would force the game to make Chibo swing around. Definitely, that's not working here. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, I don't got nothing. Um, so then I'm like, okay, well, what else is there to explore? I remembered that there's some dust on the higher up shelf. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Game's just really mean here for some reason. But anyway, here I remember that there's stuff on this higher up shelf, so I swoons on up here, and there's a little bit of dust for to be dusted. Yep, is a dust. So at some point during proceedings, I can't remember if it's this night or the following night. Oh, wait, hold up. So again, on this case, the game is distinguishing the living room has become pleasantly clean, which again, that's your tip off that the different messages are alerting you to different things. Here I get very excited because new vacuum chip would be quite useful. What the hell was I saying before? Oh, right. I can't remember if it's this night or the following night where I realize that that little symbol by the moon indicates that it is a lucky night. Um, where if I understand correctly, if you sieve on a lucky night, you are more likely. By the way, I did not mean to get rid of those. I instantly regretted those and was like, nope, I was saving those for a reason. Darn. Um, if you sieve on a lucky night, you're more likely to get special rare minerals and such. And it's like, oh, super cool. Where are you going now? You can kind of see me pacing about, going like, okay, what am I up to next? In this instance, I think I realize, or I'm like, okay, I want to get up here and check all this crap out. I hadn't done so to this point just because, uh, again, easy to get distracted in this game. As soon as I finished vacuuming up that stuff, I was like, we don't have a whole lot of watts, so I scrambled on over, and bada bing, bada boom, we're back here now. So it's like, it's a lot more obvious now that I'm watching my VOD, helpfully with the cursor in place to see. Oh yeah, it is. I actually did just click on Tully there. And a cookie. Interesting that Tully specifically bails when one of these cutscenes show up. Like, I don't know, Tully's afraid of being in cutscenes or something like that. Oh. Yeah, there is. Chibo does get a little bit of a shock to the system when he drops down. So at this point, I've cleaned up most of the dust, and I have picked up all the tree ash. So I'm like, okay, now where are the other mounds of dirt that I have to scrub up? Remember those 16, I guess now 14, um, from before. Uh, at a certain point, I realize. Do I realize that here? Okay. What I should be doing here to look is if you see those little icons on the left of the bottom screen, uh, that is left of the right screen, those let me switch between different types of things I'm seeing. So the outlet is helpful objects to interact with. What I want is the middle mustard stain looking spot. Um, and that would let me poke around and see what all I'm working with there. But in this instance, I'm like, is it somewhere along this I-beam? No. Um, am I talking with Telly here? No. Where am I going? Oh, no, I remember. Okay, so at this point I was like, well, I could climb up the curtain all again, but I don't feel like it. So I'm just going to have Telly carry my butt up here, and I'll climb up my butt. Which, fun to experiment with, but as you'll see in a sec, it kind of takes up more energy to do it like this than it would if I had just gotten off my duff and gone to the other side of the room. Telly climbs curtains a lot faster than he does his own tail. And it's pretty dang high up, too. There we go. You did it. And I'm like, I think I'm contemplating here if there's a way to drop down to that side of the I-beam. And then I'm like, no, no, there really isn't. Well, what I could have done is just climb down from Telly, but yeah, mostly I was checking if there was um, dirt, scum, or whatever over there too. Then I'm like, okay, well, I'll check over here. There's the Rodentia. Make that old mistake. Fortunately, you can't fling your butt at a rat in order to make it go away. So I kind of commit myself to, okay, well, bit of a process. There we go. Luckily, I do not experience a Castlevania situation and fall to my demise. Instead, I go over here, punt, and I wait for it. Wait for it. It's going to be great. I see dust. I scale on down, vacuum it up. Yeah. Sweet, sweet vacuuming action right here. And I almost make a horrible mistake by unplugging myself before I realize, wait, no, I want to use that and get into the other alcove. So I can learn stuff. I gotta imagine, I hope it's not just me, but I gotta imagine there's a huge experience where it's just frustrating watching someone in a Let's Play or in a stream game where you just want to say, no, you dingus, do this. But and I know I'm not the best video game player myself, so I gotta imagine there's a decent amount of that you, the viewer at home, run into as well. But uh, but yeah, it's a little surreal running into that with yourself, being all like, okay, me, do I learn? Yes. Okay. I think I note somewhere in this session that the camera, I keep running into weirdness with the camera. That, of course, is entirely on my setup. I think on console, I would have just had access to the D-pad. I think it's the D-pad that would. No, no, no. ABYX that would be used to actually tweak where the camera is pointed. Why am I plugging in there? Oh, right. Dust under there. No, dust on the couch. Bit convoluted, but okay. Let's see. Da, 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 Grabbing some good old dust. And again, you can see me going like, okay, what am I missing here? Here? Okay. This point, it occurs to me that the only remaining stains have to be in dirt stains have to be in some of these drawers since I've explored everything else. Or do I? No, I fibbed. what I'm actually going for is, of course, the shelf up here. Now, this lower shelf here. Well, the set of shelves, whatever, you know what I mean. Now, in this moment, let's see if I've learned. I do not fall into the drawer. I get caught there, but I quickly correct that. Go up here, and I'm able to climb up. Yes. Now, the main question is, do I fall into this drawer? No, I don't. And in fact, I think it through all the way, and I am able to get up here, and everything is golden. So now at this point, I'm in a little bit of a rush to get everything squared up by the end of the night, since there's not a heck of a lot of time, and it would be annoying to have to deal with all of this again the following day. So one more. I almost make another mistake, and I'm like, nope, wait, I don't have to do this. I don't have to be a moron. I can save the world. That is verbatim what I said at the time. You're just gonna have to trust me. Let's see. I don't know how some of that dust is just suspended over midair. All right, now I'm really coming down to the wire. Some coins and some dirt stains. But also, I recognize that since I'm towards the end of this lucky night, if I'm gonna make some bank, I'd best get Seven quickly. And it seems that I do so. Yeah, yeah. I think at one point we tried re- figuring out how how precisely where all this gold is coming from. Oh yeah, here I've realized, oh darn, I've accidentally shook too much and lost the thing. I don't quite know how that works out, but um, where all the golden junk is coming from. I think best suggestion I have is, oh, maybe there was a jewelry box over this or something. But of course, that doesn't explain all of the teeth just laying about. Now, again, really coming down to the wire. Scrub, 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 scrub. Grab that sticker. I think I just give up on that dirt stain there. Weird that that is that the game acknowledges that that is part of all of that. Well, let's see if this is where I make my discovery. Not quite. But I got in just under the wire. So, yes, I no longer have to deal with these dumbass shelves. Ever. Okay, maybe not ever. And with all of my hard work, the Chibo ranking goes down over 700 or under 700. Again, running a bit low on house watts, but that's okay. What am I saying here? I think Gooms made a comment. I honestly forget what. Maybe he was congratulating me. I appreciate that they switch up the weird comment that Telly has at the end of each day. Oh, we might have been strategizing on what to buy since we now have a decent amount of moolah from this point. Yeah, it's adding up. So now, naturally, I schlep on outside. Every day, every morning, I walk out and hope, is this going to advance the plot? But it doesn't. Oh, okay. That's right. So I don't, contrary to popular belief, I do not buy things, but I instead The last thing I have left to explore in the living room is this fireplace, since I figure this has to be where those unaccounted for stains are. Let me do math. I think 11 to this point I would have left. And even then, that seems like, well, that's a lot of stains, but I look with my special eyes. Do I realize it at this point? No, but I do see the tally mark. And I look up, and I see some sort of specter there. Like, okay, well, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. How am I supposed to get over there? Gooms catches that I can probably just walk over, and indeed I can. Obviously, you're supposed to pull that brick out, but you can just kind of cheese it. And there's our friendly baby ghost. Dun, dun, da, 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 dun, dun. So I'm like, okay, well, helpful telly spot. Let's get helpful up in this. I was like, Chibi-Robo, here I am. So naturally, I'm like, well, I could go there. Oh, but what's up here? All this stuff here, and here, and here. Now, and there's a standee there as well. Now, at this point, I'm seeing that, I'm thinking, oh, well, that's a cowboy. That's Western. It's cool. It's kind of a weird place for it. Gooms, again, smart cookie, that Goombachi. He's like, no, that's Santa Claus because you're in a chimney. And I'm like, what? That was clearly a cowboy. But you'll see it again in just a little bit, not to worry. Now, unfortunately, my brilliant, dastardly scheme of just cheesing my way all the way up is a non-starter. There's a bit of funkiness with some of the geometry that forces you to, just unplug. Just unplug. Oh, no, I know. So I'm trying to futz with it a bit, like I said before, to get the right angle on it. But you can see the cord clipping through the brick, which is your indication that that's just not going to shake out. So whether through design or through interactions between the different systems, you can't actually cheese this whole thing. You actually have to do it somewhat legitimately, which is kind of an interesting concession when you, strictly speaking, have the ability to just fly wherever the hell you want. Telly does need to land on some place, and Chibo's ability to climb is entirely beholden to the, I guess, geometry of what he's able to access with the cord. So in this instance, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm at least able to do it like this. And indeed, the legends are true. And friend Ghosty ghosts us, and he goes over there. I don't know. Again, I just don't feel like interfacing with that brick, so I just schlep on over. Oh. Do not get Scully in there. Oh, sorry. Boy, there are a lot of places where the game is tempting you to drop down. Oh, one thing that past that little door that you saw over there, in case you don't remember, that connects with the top of the fireplace. Gooms and I were talking about it around this time. We're like, well, just go that way. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. But no. This, honestly, I have no idea why that brick exists there. You'll see me interface with it here. I try pushing it in, and it does nothing. I try pulling it out, and that does nothing. Here I'm like, oh no, gee, how am I supposed to get over there? So then it's all like, okay, well maybe if I do the exact same thing again, but mean it. I actually do try pulling the brick out more, but yeah, none of those are gonna work. Hop up here. Maybe cool kids hang out here. There I see, oh yeah, it's this freaking Santa Claus. Duh. Oh, I see. Okay, so because I pushed that brick in, that forces that brick over there to pop out. I don't think I actually made that connection on stream. I just sort of existed in this haze. I was like, okay, well, let me try walking over here again. And that actually did work. So I was like, okay. It's kind of cute that you were just playing with the little ghosty this whole time. And he just rewards you with happiness. It is interesting that this game doesn't, how to put this. The happy point system was a way of underlining your interactions with the NPCs, the Sandersons and the toys in the first Chibi-Robo. Um, and that's still implicitly the case here, but you don't have any point where Telly goes, uh, cute baby ghosty just gave you 1,000,000 happy points or whatever. It's always just a quiet, baked in part of it. And I respect that the game trusts the player enough to just be able to go through that. Now, I'm keeping the cookies here because at this point we were planning on buying the clownfish to fund the family funds. I'm also stubbornly holding on to the acorn because I am of the opinion that that will become relevant at some point. I suspect probably since I just got that from the backyard and oak tree out there, it's going to drop acorns. Probably it would be smartest if I just let the if I cashed that in for Watts and then just got another acorn, but we'll see. I think at this point I'm like, well, I don't really want to use the um I really don't want to sieve stuff if I don't gotta. Actually, I've also burned through all of my dust here. So I think I'm going on recon to, one, get this, but you'll probably see me go to Keith's room for more garbage after this. Right, right. I'm a bit wishy-washy here. Again, so easy to get distracted. Here, the order of operations in my head are, I want to get those vacuum chips. Um, I want to fuel house watts. I don't want to run through the house watts. I need to get money in order to get the vacuum chips. I need to get energy in order to be able to get the vacuum chips. I want to vacuum, but I can't vacuum because I want the vacuum chips before I vacuum. So I go to Keith's room for garbage, and I make a huge mistake because stuff happens in here. Oh boy, how am I going to do this guy's voice? Here he's playing some weird psychedelic 60s rock here. It's kind of rad. Wee! Dramatic flip. Splonk. Snap. Always looks painful. Ow, 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 ow. Hee, hello. Hello. Hey, ketchup. Oh, it's your habanero. Sorry to say it, but you got no rhythm at all. I should be going French with this. Because of that, I sprained my ankle. Oh, that's not how it usually is. What are these voices? Well, because of our relationship. I'll tell you everything. Just having good technique won't get you any fans. Well, I don't care about fans or anything like that. Well, I don't care. All I want is for the tomatoes to become bright red again. That sounds better. That's why. I've gone on a journey to find the legendary fork guitar. A fork? Hey, that's a deadly weapon, isn't it? Deadly weapon? What are you talking about? It's just a guitar. You bastard! Are you planning on becoming my enemy? Here I note that, well, probably that wouldn't have made it into the formal localization. You bastard? Yeah. Ah? That's not what I was saying, Chop. As usual, you never listen to what people tell ya. You should reconsider. You're really annoying. But forks are no toys. Here, I'm generally pretty good. I make a beeline for the garbage. Keith's room, I suppose the upshot mechanically of having a kid with a filthy room is that, well, there's lots of just loose garbage hanging about. What are you doing? Why am I doubting myself? Oh, right. I was trying to figure out how to let go of the plug. Gooms also notes around this time that last time we were in Keith's room, we'd actually gotten the sparkle rate up pretty decent, so I've really let it kind of go to shit at this point. Mostly just a consequence of our focus being elsewhere for a lot of this. I do succumb to okay. Well, I guess I'll deal with this stain here. Scrub, 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 scrub. Let's see. Picking up more trash. That's a trash. For some reason, I'm really indecisive on that trash. But this trash, I'm like, yeah, that's garbage. Oh, yeah. What am I saying? Oh, no, I've fallen for it again. I'm like, scrub, 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 scrub. And another one. Let's see. All right, what do I go for at this point? All right, here I'm a bit diligent. Well, I get distracted again. I shouldn't really complain about myself because this is still contributing to heart points, and it's not taking too much time to do those. But every little bit counts with these. Though again, as you saw early on, we did get the bestest wonder timer ever, so not taking up a whole lot of time. And that should wrap things up. Well, here's some tissues. Oh. Let's see. Okay. All right. All right. So now I'm like, okay, we've got the money. There's all this dust to clean up that we should dust, vacuum, but I need to get the vacuum chips. And just let that dude friggin' do his weird psychedelic rock forever and ever. I again get distracted by I can do this. I'm gonna vacuum this. It's gonna be great. Ah, and I do actually succumb this time. Too bad. I think it's worth note that this whole time, we have not interacted with Keith or Lucky during the day. Keith, I think, is just spending a lot of time outside right now. At this part of the game, he's just during the day he's just chilling and playing outside. We'll see him in a little bit, but so dooby 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 doo vacuuming. and the game is polite. Again, I've sort of bungled it here because I really want to be getting those vacuum chips. At this point, I'm not sure what the vacuum chips do, but I will see shortly. But then, mercilessly, the game is like, no, you will deal with this freaky psychedelic tomato guitarist here. Hmm?
Oh, Inspector Robo. Good work in the patrolling, Oink. But you can leave the rest to me here.
Here I'm like, what, is he just gonna gun down a hippie?
Hey, you!
What was that? I love this running animation. Action roll! Shoot! He does, he just shoots at him.
Oh dear. This place is no free-for-all pedestrian paradise, Oink. You can't just go around doing music performances like that.
Yeah? So in the big city, there are even rules about playing a guitar?
I can't give you the full details, but this area is under watch. I want to keep all suspicious behavior to minimum, Oink.
If I look violent somehow, then I guess I'll stop.
Thanks for your cooperation.
Sniff, 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 sniff. I thought I heard a sound. Distinctly Keith. Am I imagining things? Bang! I think both of us kind of marvel there that one of those rare human toy interactions.
Huh, that was close. There's also that reason, so please try to keep it down.
Right.
By the way, I haven't seen you around here before. Are you a runaway tomato?
Oh, that's right. I went out to find the legendary fork guitar. If I combine my technique with the legendary guitar, well, then I'll be able to make bright red tomatoes again. Since you're out patrolling, do you know something about it?
The legendary fork guitar? No, I don't have any lost and founds to report, Oink.
Oh, I see. It's so hard to find. Enough. I'm going to the big shitty kitchen to get it right now.
I'll always help as long as you're not disturbing my patrol. Bye-bye, Oink.
So nice cutscene to advance, I guess, both of their storylines. But definitely like, okay, this is all good. I want to get them chips, man. Doop, 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 doop. Scuttle over here. Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle. All right. And then I... Yes, do it. Do it. Do it. Buy stuff.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, obviously these vacuum chips I get. The 2 increases suction range, and 3 reduces energy consumption, which I think of the 2 is the really big one. All of the vacuum upgrades are pretty handy though. Come to think of it, I don't think we've actually... I'll mention that in a little bit. So 32, you'll remember, is the washing machine. So I think at this point we're like, okay, well, let's commit to that. Also get more outlets. Outlets are always useful. Write it down. There you go. There you go. Good. And then I'm like, okay, well, what are these things? These are things we all have. I don't care about that. I have a realization about these a little bit later, but for now, I'm just like, oh, well, these are dumb. I see the clownfish. Clownfish is like, well, obviously. I see the AC, and I'm like, okay. Fridge we've already got, of course. Uh, Kitchenwagen, which feels like a German word. Um, that we don't have. Post pal, I'm like, well, that I need. That is the washing machine. Rockets and windmill. So, what does he get? I debate the rocket, but then I'm like, well, no, I need to get that first because I have all these stickers burning a hole in my pocket. Blah 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 blah. AC unit. I also settle upon. Do it. Settle upon it. Yes. Yeah. What? Oh no, that's right. I was looking at the amount of moolah and got thrown off by that. See, the rest of these, I'm like, okay, but this is crap. We have this. We have this. Why do we need this? Then Blanc. Maybe I won't do automatopoeia for every little motion he makes. All right. So do the thing. Do it. I do not start with outlets. Interesting. Well, vacuum chips are more useful. I get the impression that you probably want to prioritize these as soon as you can. We get the outlets, and then I go for the clownfish. I think I deliberate. In neat coincidence that I put all the cheap stuff up top. I finally get the washing machine, long overdue. At this moment, I realize, wait, I can't afford both of these other things. So I get this. And then I'm like, okay, well, 18. Bada bing, bada boom. Darn. But not to worry. We will be back soon for that. Oh, we will get that. And you will see. You will all see. I don't know why I'm saying it so menacingly like that. At this point, I'm seeing that there is 82%, so I'm like, okay. Well, it's going down a little bit. Let's see if we can't track down what we missed. I may also have been thinking, okay, but where are we going to get where are we going to get all of the oh, right, I'm checking the drawers to see if I can find any more stains. Hop into this one, and it's like, okay, well, we've been in here. Oh, but I do get cookie. Oh, that's where that cookie came from. Hmm. Annoyingly, someone has very thoughtfully shut the drawers for us, so I kind of have to go through. Okay. It takes me a little bit to struggle and figure out how I'm supposed to open that drawer. And of course, it doesn't actually matter because you can't actually get in that drawer. All right, so I move this can here, and I'm like, can I believe it? There's nothing over here. Hooray. And I leave. Here, I finally realize, oh, eyes, those mean things. I'm looking for dust here. Then I switch over to stain vision. I get confused and look at confused vision. Trash. Secretly, that was the sinister culprit this whole time. Well, we shall fix that. Yeah. Anyway, I fixed that. So we see all the dust, all the trash, and that just leaves the Phantom 11 dirt spots. And we're like, well, where are the dirt spots? Flail around a little bit trying to figure out this puzzle. Go back to using my special eyes now that I've cottoned on to their power. But legitimately, I do not see any possible place where the dirt stains could be. And the game really would alert us to it. I think you'll see it a little bit later. We're in another room, and the game does highlight that sort of stuff, just not here. So at this point, I'm like, oh, this is dumb and smelly. I'm going to go somewhere else. Basically, I am realizing, okay, so I need to do something to spice stuff up, or I need to get some other mode of income in order to be able to afford the AC unit, I think. Can't remember if we realized it at this point. No, I don't think so. So Gooms and I talk here about, oh, okay, well, I should do some vacuuming in here for goodies. And I get so far as to siphon energy from the house before it occurs to us, well, wait a second. Probably I shouldn't vacuum because I'm just about to get a upgrade chip. Yeah. So we resolved to come back the following night. And like, yeah, we'll just leave it filthy. Also, that last stain's probably on top of the toilet or something, and we do not feel like trying to go get that at this juncture. So there's not a heck of a lot of time left. So at this point, we're like, okay, well, let's see if we can't find a way to make progress in Jenny's room. First, obvious fix, outlet. Blanc. Nice. Then, in lieu of making progress in Jenny's room, I'm like, I'm going to talk to Skulton. Oh, what does this guy sound like?
The Skulton cop. That's a plan I discarded a long time ago. Those clothes you have made me remember that. But in your case, Chibi-Robo cop, you should keep it up. Anyway, you want to test your luck, right? Is that what you're thinking?
I like that even Skulton leans forward to get the scoop.
Blah!
Bonk. And we get 3 sad.
It looks like it's not with you today, Chibi-Robo. Only unearth waste paper. That's tragic. But that's all that's miserable right now. I'll teach you something nice. To know if a night is a lucky night.
Interesting that's using Japanese quotes there.
Carefully inspect a bit higher up. You might notice something.
And here I'm like, okay, this is the game telling us the thing that I noticed before about the dude in the place. Again, if you're looking at the top screen, which would be to the left. Anyway.
In a night such as that, you'll be able to make a large profit. If you already know about this, then just forget I said anything.
And here I'm like, okay, well, obviously, book. I need to interface with book in order to push that over. And in this moment, I'm remembering Habanero said something about that, but I forget what I'm supposed to do with that. Don't worry, we will follow up on that in a bit. Now I'm misremembering that a telepad exists in this room. I don't think one does. Strictly speaking, I could have given the top of the vanity a bit of a better look, but I don't. Actually, yeah, right now I'm like, okay, well, I'll look on top of the vanity. Nah, nah, nah. Well, I guess I'll go down here to take a look. I ultimately decide what needs to be done is probably going through the kitchen sink. So I think if I drop down in the kitchen sink, because there's a part in there you might remember that's labeled Jenny's room, or maybe has a little spawna indicator or something. Spawna? Sauna? Spa? I mix up spa and sauna. Dear me. I think I'm supposed to get through the plumbing basically from there. There's a little indicator there that bada bing, bada boom, probably come out of the Japanese bath. So we end up mostly putting Jenny's room in the back burner for now. We'll come back to it in a bit though. Once again, I have carelessly and mercilessly drained house energy. But that's not important because we get prisons. So first we have an outlet. Then we have cheap. Bada bing, bada boom, blah, 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 blah. With this suction, range will increase. Bada bada. Vacuum chip 3. Blah, 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 blah. It's very cool. With this, the watts usage of vacuuming will be reduced. I don't think Tully's actually saying that. Clownfish has been added to the living room. No anemone, but that's okay. Family is permanently happier in her because there's a clownfish. Now there's a post pal. Bada bing, bada boom, you're really cool. Okay. And then, bada-dee-da-dee-da, washing machine has been placed in the bathroom. In the moment, I'm a little confused because, like, the washing machine is in the bathroom, but yeah, it's fair. So Gooms and I here debate over colors. There's, gonna have to go off of these from memory. Yeah, actually, here I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna. So washing machine, we're like red, blue, or green. Gosh, I mostly asked for Gooms' input on a lot of these, and I'm blanking on most of his intel. Usually he steered us for something that appeared to be tasteful given everything. I think we decided that the red was quite striking. Or did we? Yeah, we decided red was striking. So we were like, yeah, no, that's cool. We'll go with that. Nice. Oh, as the new furniture arrived, the house has become lovelier. A present from Citrusoft. The house can now store up to a maximum of 700 watts. So this is also your incentive to keep cleaning, is that you keep boosting up the house wattage, which gives you more and more and more and more and more of a safety net as you're doing stuff here. Let's see. Do I recognize it right away? I do not. All right. Don't worry about it. You'll see what I mean. Here Telly's like, oh, you big dingus. You let the house watch go down. Why would you do that? I even had the acknowledgement, haven't the thought of, well, does Citrusoft top us up off as long as they're giving us more juice? But they do not. And go to a devilish amount of watts. And then we just fling this dude in as well. So at this point, I make the realization, oh, wait, there actually is a lot of benefit to burning through the dust bags to fuel the house, because you only throw in a dust bag at a time, and you get a lot of juice out of each bag of dust. But I also don't care about much of that because I can finally burn through some of these stickers we've been saving up. And the thing talks and it's weird, but don't worry about that. So, This year, Citrussoft will rank up your life too. Live like a celebrity. Gifts for all applicants. Collect and paste 5 entry seals down here. You can win prize A, B, or C, or get a consolation prize. The one prize will be unveiled along with its delivery. Here, prize A is the windmill, prize B is a spare rocket, and prize C is the bathtub. So we don't actually get to choose what we get. All we do is place the stamps there. You note that I make the observation that much like in real life, as soon as you place a stamp down, even if it's wildly off, you just kind of have to suck it up and deal with it. But anyway, like with the mail order stuff, we will learn about this the following day. And you can only do one at a time, which I guess that's fair. More ghosts. Ghost clean. Cram him in my head, and we will cram in brown bread. Oh boy. I don't really notice it for a while, but Lucky, it really is striking the difference that Lucky has with his cleaned up coat since we had a little bath time with him. Oh yeah, this is totally mean and sucky and dumb. Ghosts are like, blah, 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 we're gonna mess with you a lot. And that's stupid. I'm kind of surprised that I friggin' no-scoped that one guy mostly off-screen. Friggin', yeah, I know, you don't have a scope for a plug. That's weird, but whatever. So then I'm like, okay, here we go. Is test time, baby. We're going to test all dem chips. And I feel like you immediately see a difference there. Rewatching this now that I've seen the previous, what it looked like before and what it looks like now, you can kind of, I guess I've been hoping it'd be a little more obvious, but you can see a difference, and you definitely feel it as you're going through. The main thing just being that because you get just a little bit extra, that means that that's just a little bit less messing around that you have to worry about. See? If I'd gone for that butt extension a while ago, I'd have actually been able to make this. Chibi-Robo, Chibi-Robo, sorry to call you like this. It looks like it's currently in the process of cleaning. If we open it, we'll be drenched in water. We might be able to enter when Jenny is not using it. I'm sort of in denial. Like, no, I just got this. How on earth could she have crammed stuff in there already? But, like, she was awake for a couple hours that we weren't, so probably it's fine. Anyway, vacuuming. This room in particular, I struggle a lot with myself being able to see all the particles. Look, I'm gonna miss a little schniblet by the by that one leg to the back right of, or to the right here. I've missed just a little bit, and I'm gonna spend a while trying to find all of the dust. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what colors we're looking at here. I know it's in shadow, but I think this tile is like gray. Fortunately, Gooms is here to help me out and point out where it is, but even then I take a little bit to go, okay, what are you saying? I go to the right? Okay, well that's to the right. I go by the leg? Well, here's the leg. But of course he means the other leg. And I'm like, what? Let's see, how visible is my confusion here? A little bit. It creeps in a little bit. At this point, I'm like, I'll just take your word for it, man. But of course, old Goomsy, he can see stuff that I cannot, and that's cool. There it is. Really kind of blends in for me. I don't know how visible that is to those of you who do not have my particular brand of color blindness, but just something that I run into An alternative solution, if I was just playing this by myself, is I would just deal with the mulligan, and if I come back the next day, the game would rearrange the position of this mound of dust so that it's more centered, and that would have been a lot easier for me to tackle. Excuse me. I don't know if you've noticed, but tonight is another lucky night, so we will be getting Boku bucks with this whole enterprise. Oh yeah, money. So I think so with most of the time when we're cleaning up the dust and you're picking stuff out, I generally get it. Like if it's in the bedroom, okay, this stuff would have again potentially under a vanity, potentially under a jewelry box, whatever. The soap scum under the sink, I don't get where the golden nuggets are coming in from there. Because like in my experience, if it's detritus that accrues from wandering around and stuff, I get it. If it's like uh, I don't experience a ton of stuff that gets tracked into the bathroom from elsewhere that would be related to jewelries and stuff. Maybe if someone's taking off rings, maybe that's what's going on. But otherwise, I would think soap scum would just be soap scum. But also, I'm just some guy, so entirely possible that I'm missing the point of the exercise. This one, I think I do a lot better on catching everything. No, actually, Gooms helps me a little bit there, but it's not as dramatic as the first one, as you can see. And then here I'm like, okay, well, I could clean the stains that I'm sure are in the kitchen sink or whatever, but I don't feel like it. Well, not kitchen sink, bathroom sink, but I don't feel like it. So I just go piss off. Here I hesitate. I'm like, okay, what do I do? I get a bit wishy-washy for some reason. What am I doing? Well, I'm saying something, so that's... Oh, no. Okay, so Gooms pointed out that, well, I should really focus on getting the sparkle rate up to 100. But I indicate, and you can see here as well, you see in the top screen, top left next to hallway, there's that 100 vacuum. That shows that I have done a 100% job of cleaning this area. And at this point, Gooms and I come to the realization, or settle down into the realization that, okay, well, it's probably not worth, once you've gotten a room up to 100%, you probably don't have to keep up the room at 100%. I mean, opportunistically go for stuff, sure, that's fine. But the main things that you get benefits from are these dust piles, since those are your main money makers. But you probably don't have to keep grinding out, for example, the dirt stains. Garbage is probably worth picking up, since that is more tangibly something that feeds the house energy. Alright, so now I'm a man on a mission. There's a bunch of dirt, but moreover, I want to get a lucky fortune on a lucky night from a lucky skull. So I go to good old Sculpton here.
I can only let you try your luck once a day. Don't be greedy.
And you're like, oh, yeah, I guess it is the same day. You got me. I guess I'll just vacuum. For some reason, I have lack to go over here. It is weird. Anyway, we do some vacuuming. More riveting vacuum on floor action, baby. Yeah. Look at them isosceles triangles. Not quite a right triangle, although I'm trying. Probably I should give myself some credit. It's definitely more right than scalene. Yeah. These are things I think about, folks. Oh, with a lot of these vacuuming stuff, you really I don't know how it is as an experience for other people. For me, this sort of thing largely falls into pattern shaping and pattern recognition. Um, one of the things that drives me a little bonkers about how easy it is to walk backwards is that it totally disrupts when, as you're going through and making this stuff and just shaping it out and all of that, it's very easy to just do geometric patterns in the floor and stuff. I think I mentioned in an earlier stream that I think this process of vacuuming through dirt reminds me a lot of mowing the lawn as a kid and how I just kind of do that in patterns and stuff. Um, a lot of that I know is going to be the OCD and just me uh, creating patterns in the phenomena of the world, just as a matter of consequence. But also, it just feels such a natural thing to fall into when you're doing a chore like this and to clean within a specific pattern. I don't know how much that's a universally shared experience and how much is just that, again, me trying to seek and create patterns in specific things. In any case, you will note that we are making a decent amount of money here, or at least we're accruing a decent amount of little bits and bobs here. Oh no, I think I lost a gold nugget there. Oh well, doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Vacuuming some stuff. I kind of went on a tangent there. Uh, it really does drive me bonkers just how natural it is to end up walking backwards. I feel like that's probably maybe that's something that is easier when you're not using a mouse to direct it and you're on original hardware. At the same time, the mouse movements aren't that different from using a stylus to move in a certain pattern. So now I'm going here. Oh yeah, one thing you might observe, Jenny is asleep in her bed. Um, you can't see it on the lower screen, obviously, but on the top screen, you can see the adorable little Jenny icon. As a little circle in the bed in the top left of the room. What, you might refer to that as northwest corner of the room, but I don't. Not since the war. Um, it I definitely has always been my experience as a kid that vacuuming while other people are sleeping is a bad thing. But Gooms and I figure that, well, small enough that probably you don't have to worry about it. Chibo's vacuum probably doesn't make a whole lot of noise. I think with that announcement, we both at this point realize, oh, the flat objects they've been talking about are the different flooring options. Um, we've seen sort of that before, where the game will refers to a generic type of object to that you've unlocked on the TV by cleaning a certain amount. Um, but I, I think it's an interesting exercise where if you're really paying attention throughout the game, you can assign patterns to. Okay, if it's talking about flat object, it's of course naturally it's referring to flooring. Um, but it's just interesting that's and here I'm starting to realize, I think we're starting to realize, okay, so if you clean a certain thing, then the game offers a replacement for that sort of thing. Boy, I'm only now really starting to appreciate just how many stains there are on this how many stains there are on this traffic floor. Like, yes, you've got the dust, you've got the crayons and stuff, but I don't think I've ever really noticed all of the really thickly caked in brown crap in there. I know, not the best word choice, but honestly, it's probably dirt. Um, what was I saying? Sorry, I've been mesmerized by dirt, I guess. Um, yeah, thought is gone. Probably you, the viewer at home, could tell me what the hell I was just saying, but I, the me at home, cannot do so. Oh yeah, total blank. But on the flip side, we are earning Boku monies. Again, lucky, lucky. Like friggin' getting 3 gold nuggets at once. I know the gold isn't worth a heck of a lot, and the money makers, the real money makers, are everything else, but it all contributes. Tooth. Here, I'm noting in this moment some of this commentary I remember. I note I was just thinking about how it's been a while since we've seen teeth. Anyway, I, the guy 2 days later, thought it was very important for you to be aware that I think about teeth. Have you thought about teeth? Ask yourself this. Ay, ay, ay. So, so yeah. So like I said, at this point, we're recognizing that cleaning up certain bits of furniture or round bits of furniture results in the game offering replacements for that furniture. Um, we haven't quite yet realized the significance of that, um, but we will shortly. Oh, this MRFer steals money, doesn't reply, leaves. So here I'm like, okay, friggin', where am I going here? There, that guy, that guy, and yeah, that guy. Okay, so most of the stains being able to vacuum up like water stains or I guess dirt stains, I get those. How are we vacuuming up crayon off of carpet? Actually, there's a more important question. How on earth is Keith getting crayon smeared into the carpet that thick? Jeez Louise. Like, dude, chill. And now it's time to find some residual dust. Oh, I missed some. Oh well. Luckily, the game's starting to be a little more generous. Like, yeah, yeah, we get it. You work hard. Keith's room dirt. We cleaned it off of the floor. It makes the commentary a bore because we're doing a chore. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, um, so the upshot to us just mainlining all of this vacuuming all at once is we are going to get a pretty decent amount of monies. Yep, that one I lost. There it is. I know I said this before, but it is weird that so the mechanic exists where you're sifting, you're sifting, you're sifting, and you see a little gold flake pop out. But if you keep sifting, then you lose the gold flake. Usually, and I haven't really gone like sieving a whole lot of things, but usually my understanding is the entire point of the exercise is you have the sieve that's designed to let um the smaller particles go through, so the bigger particles remain trapped up top. So like you're sifting this to get the dirt out so that the bigger clumps of gold or bead or tooth or whatever remain within the little within the sieve itself. So the fact that you can just shake out the gold from there, I don't quite get the mechanics of how that's supposed to be working. Um, sieving is fine. It's a fine mechanic or whatever, but I feel like it would be just that much less annoying if you didn't have to go in every time do the thing again in order to get the stuff and the dudes and the dads. Little bit of dust here. Yep, that dust is dusted. And I immediately realized my mistake by unplugging because I totes could have vacuumed all of that junk up. Here I am just a man on a mission to dust. I think I'm seeing that it's getting later at night, and if I want to make the most out of this whole exercise, I probably should just be friggin' getting rid of the dust rather than the rubbish. Also, yeah, I totally just vacuumed up that candy wrapper there. Um, strictly, I said with confidence during the stream that, oh yeah, that means I've totally sacrificed that wrapper to be dust. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't actually know that that's what's happening. Might just be wishful thinking. Might just be an assumption on my part. I sure go for the gusto though. Um, you can really feel though how much of a difference that one chip has made. The one that reduces energy consumption, because it's been a full night and we have not needed to top off the house once. Now, granted, a not insignificant part of that is the fact that we have also upped the amount of juice the house can hold. Um, and yeah, that definitely rocks. But what was that? But yeah, no, it huge difference that makes. Even so, at this point, with the amounts of energy we've consumed, we still wouldn't be in deficit if we hadn't gotten that house upgrade. Boy, 33. Yeah, like I said, this is this all from tonight? This is, if not all, largely from tonight. Another tooth. How many teeth does this cat have? Should be like 32 to 24. Well, I worked for a dental company for ages. I should really remember how many teeth people have. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, no, I am a man on a mission. I am trying to get as much uh, dust done and dusted as possible. Yeah. Okay, game's starting to be a little more generous with this stuff. Here I get distracted and totally waste time vacuuming up a tissue. I unplug at this point because I'm realizing, okay, well, there's no way that I can get another full pile out here. So let me just collect this garbage and chuck it. So I do top off just to not be rude, but yeah. And I actually go for the dust. Huh. But as you see, that tops us off. Do I get the chance to go for anything else? More garbage. That's a garbage. And that's a garbage. Still a lot more to square up, but every bit helps. Oh, right. And here I go for the gusto. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I do have time. I'm just going to vacuum all this. Yeah, come on, hurry. Ah. But of course, I run out of time. But again, that just means that the next time I check under there, that specific mound of dirt will be significantly reduced. And as a result of all of that vacuuming, we see I drop down to below or above or whatever 400. Oh yeah. Oh, you won prize C from the celebrity campaign. I was definitely bummed about that in the moment because that meant, oh, we get a double new bathtub. But here is where I realize if you look between the different types, well, B and C, even now I cannot tell the difference between those. But if you look between the types, none of them look as icky and filthy as the tub that we had before. And here's where I finally make the connection. Oh, duh. Obviously, the entire point of this exercise is that we're going through this game and trying to upgrade the different accoutrements. Here, hold up. As a reward from Citrussoft, in TV shopping, distinct object can now be bought. It just seems ominous to me. Like I said, I make the connection that, oh, right, we do want to be upgrading all of this stuff. And I think Gooms and I will have a conversation in just a little bit here, doubling down on that. But for now, moment of truth, let's see all the monies that we made. I think you can see here that it takes longer to process all of this as a consequence of there being more stuff. I just think that's interesting. Anyway, lots of money. Here I'm like, oh yeah, we rule. We did so much stuff. Yeah. I'm a cool guy. I think that is verbatim what I'm saying there. I also finally decide to indulge in the butt lengthening. So this is going to sound silly, but it took me the longest time to really put together that the actual explanation or justification for why what they're doing with Chibi-Robo's cord is that he's got a retractable cord. I don't quite get the logistics behind how they're able to modify his cord. Maybe that's why it takes a couple hours to see through. Oh, wait. Here I finally seen the Santa picture. You really came a long way that time, huh? Just like we have now. Oh! The voice of my heart started speaking by itself. Looking at this photo sure brings back memories. But yeah, dude has a retractable cord. I don't know how much of a thing that is these days, but like in the moment it was an obvious, oh duh, that's what they're going for. Hey you, Chibi. Somehow the living room has become sparkling clean. It's all thanks to your cleaning. You've really helped us out. By the way, Chibi, I saw the fish. It's so cute. You'll take care of it and feed it properly, right? Get ready for us not to take care of it and feed it properly. It must eat in order to become big, you see. But that's a given. And I go back. That reminds me, I forgot to tell you before. I noticed something in the backyard. The flowers! They've definitely been increasing lately. I'm so happy that the garden has become full of flowers. Please make even more of them bloom. By the way, giving Lucky a wash sure is a lot of work, don't you think? This, of course, we've seen before. But we respond to it the same way. It was even more tough when we didn't even have a shower. I think I go in one more time here. Yes, I do. I go in one more time just to see if she has anything new to say, but she doesn't, so that's fine. I do. So I do at least initially remember. Oh, we've got fish. Um, don't don't get too excited for me to check it all the time. I assume that the fish is taken care of by someone else when Chibi's not, because otherwise that would be a bummer. But I don't know. Maybe the game really is that strict. I guess we'll see next session. Not sure where you're supposed to get Cookie all the time, though. Well, I guess it's been turning up. I should probably be poking around the drawers a bit more, especially in the kitchen. I don't know why he leaves and comes back. Chibi-Robo! Chibi-Robo, sorry to call you like this. That's a clownfish. If the clownfish's stomach gets full, then it will spew out moolah the next day. Fish are incredible. Or rather, the clownfish is. And then clownfish feeding is like throwing out garbage. Blip. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then I was surprised to see that I had 2 cookie. So I throw that one in too. But I highlighted before where we got the second cookie. So I just forgot. Anyway, fish gets bigger. And then we immediately forget about that sucker. Let's see. So at this point, now with all of the important stuff out of the way, I get real excited about buying stuff. Yep. After a slight detour, because I can, I climb up and I hit the Wii remote right after these messages from our sponsor, the Tissue. Oh, man. That's nice. I'm so jealous of people with lots of moolah. Yeah, that definitely makes a guy uncomfortable, but that's how it goes. All right, so now here I'm like, okay. So first off, making sure we've got all the things, that's cool. But all these things actually mean something. We got Mom's floor. We got the windmill. We got the sprocket. We got the revolting shelf. We got the shower curtain, the Cjuub, the toilet, the wash basin, the friggin' floor, hall, wall, ball, conditioner, fireplace. Why am I going with all of this? Anyway, so all the rest of the stuff we got, but the air conditioner, I'm like, okay, well, we have to air condition. It's like friggin' an air conditioner. But then we're like, space rocket, windmill, and I think about it, and I look at the revolting shelf, and Gooms makes the points of, well, maybe that's how you're supposed to get around to different places in Keith's room. I don't see how. But it occurs to me, well, the space rocket, of course, that's how you get around in Keith's room. I'm sort of weighing between, do I get the windmill? Do I get the sprocket? Do I get the shelf? Shelf I do, and then space rocket as well. And I'm like, well, I'll just worry about that other stuff later. So here we go. Going to go make an order for stuff. I took a swig of water right as past me takes a swig of flavored water. It's the world's lamest drinking game. Every time you take a shot, take a shot. Kind of an Ouroboros of bad decisions there. Anyway, there we go. The space rocket just leaves us with only a little bit left. Let's see. I think. Oh yeah, I instantly get distracted by dirt, by dust, and then it's back to the races for dusting. Now you remember how cool and exciting it was that we got a dumbass bathtub from, or well, actually a fancy new bathtub from the prize sticker system, and you remember how we have a crap ton of stickers that we've found from poking around the house. We're probably going to forget about that system for the next hour or so. So yeah, don't get too excited about that. Sorry. In this case, on this floor, it's a bit easier to see. Say, maybe that's another motivator to actually getting new flooring, is so that it's easier to see the piles of dust on it. Where do I go now? Do I? Yes. That kind of sucked. I'm curious how you're actually supposed to ramp off of that, since clearly that's leading up to something. Here I just play opportunistic and scrub away the Keith graffiti. And then I'm like, okay, well, that's a thing. I guess I'll take that thing. Oh, that's interesting. You can even see my cursor start to reach up for that dirt pile, because I want to go there next. Let's see, is this where I start futzing around with this shelf? Nope. So where does he go, you may ask? What drives this man, this Connor, this Chibi-Robo driver? Where does he go? What is he doing? Banana. That's probably not one thing you're wondering, but it is what I was thinking at the time. So at this point, I think we're like, okay, so we need to figure out what we're doing with these books here. Obviously, we're meant to interact with them, so we got to figure out the best mode to do so. And like I said before, I'm remembering that, okay, well, we talked to Habanero about a lot of this, so maybe we just have to talk to him again. I do try whipping it with my plug, but that doesn't shake out. You can see the visible confusion on my mug right there. So I'm like, okay, Habanero, what's the haps? And then I just give him wrench. Oh, that's it. That looks just fine. And I vaguely remember that we've been collecting wrenches. And I produce a second one, and I'm like, oh, okay. Just get one more of those. And the moment I'm thinking, okay, well, I have to climb over. Oh, wait, there's the wrench right there, dummy. I just wasted, like, friggin' 2 weeks in-game, forgetting that this stuff was right here. So, yeah. That's a very long-delayed plot point that we just kind of sat on for ages because I missed the thing. I actually even clocked it earlier while re-recording this, and like it was like, oh, dude, everyone can see it. I can see it. How many times have those viewers at home been able to see it? But it's whatever. So then here we go. Oh, you are faster than I expected. Which, were we? Were we really? Yeah, you can even see my mouth there. Was I? Well then, let's begin immediately. Are you ready? Wrench. That guy. Well, that. No need to worry about the details. Now, just do it. So, even funnier, most of these wrenches are one of those wrenches is pretty useless, so we didn't even need to get that one. Trois, quatre, cinq, six. Snap. Ow, 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 ow. Damn, I've gotten so out of shape. I think I make the observation here. Well,
Is this really me? Like the one I was a long time ago?
I must have made the observation earlier. Like, I've rolled my. No, I'm making this observation here. I've rolled my ankle a lot. I've been in and out of weighing, of like being physically fit and not being physically fit, and the times I've rolled my ankle have not really had anything to do with my fitness, just coordination.
A star wrestler! What happened? Furthermore, I was a pro wrestler in the attic.
Which intrigues Gooms and I because it's like, or Gooms and me because it's like, oh, is there another room we have to explore?
Actually, I was the champion. If only I hadn't injured my ankle. Way too cool. Master Habanero, I underestimated you.
Here I make the observation that it's neat that Chibi-Robo seems to be leaning into sepia as anything to indicate flashback.
I follow you always, Master. Master's a genius. Master is popular.
Sounding Peter Lorre-ish there.
Master has long legs. Master is the strongest for the sake of his master. Keith would also become a good wrestler. That was what I thought, at least. Look over there. I got him injured a little. And now he's into soccer.
Injured a little? Can't remember if Gooms caught that. Here I make the observation, okay, so is this a question of, since we know Habanero is based on an actual professional wrestler in this world,
Uh-oh, he's not like me.
we'll come back to that thought.
Hey, pupil. Show me the results of your training. Now. Hey, Huh? Isn't that weird? The training was perfect, and even though the wrestler costume...
Dot, dot, dot.
Ah! Ho, ho, ho! Oh, that completely slipped my mind. Take this.
And we finally get a wrestler costume, baby.
Yeah.
With this, you can become a pro wrestler.
Put that on. It's an ultra super power up.
Ho, ho, ho.
Well then, hurry up and try it out.
I don't know why they repeat that. Oh well. But here, finally, it happens. The moment we've all been waiting for. Chibo becomes a luchador. Luchadorito, I guess.
Just like that.
And now I can glide. I had vaguely remembered there being a wrestling power, or Habanero implying some sort of wrestling power, but yeah, no, finally this gets resolved.
Are you finished? Finished. Ho ho, you're not half bad. Well then, knock over various books. Keep on training.
And that's that. So, the question I was wondering at the points of, with him talking about the following a new soccer dude, is that, actually real quick, new dust bag, very exciting. Now that's just that much more dust we'll be able to hold. is we know Habanero is based on a real professional wrestler who exists within this world. So, did perhaps the toy of that professional wrestler inherit the actual performer's physical malady or physical injury? Is it like, I don't know, friggin' uh, if you had like a toy version of Gerald Ford or whatever, would it keep tripping or something? That's I don't know. That's a reference most kids would get these days, but hell, that's before my time. Do you want to install a new outlet here? We do indeed, because outlets are cool. And that, all along, was how you're supposed to vacuum this crap. I never noticed in game, but I'm seeing now that is an inverse soccer ball. It's like the freaking mirror universe soccer ball. I wonder why its colors are inverted like that. Is I wonder if the design of the popular design of a soccer ball, if that's somehow copywritten. Well, that can't be right. I feel like I've seen lots of soccer balls in day-to-day life or in fiction. Anyway, this area has become sparkling clean. And I think this is finally me going, okay, so in TV shopping, clear object is now in stock. That confuses us for a bit. I don't know that we ever figure that out. However, it occurs to me that, okay, so now we have access to, we can get uh, we can get a new set of shelves for Keith. This is also, I think, the first time I'm really seeing the bookshelf on the opposite side. I think for the longest time I thought it was a bit like the desk in Jenny's room in the first Chibi-Robo. But not. This is not the case. Now here I am super excited, high on the thrill of having the newfound power of shoving things the hell over. So I start dragging this around, being all like, "Oh yeah, baby, we're going to assemble this, and we're going to make a freaking ladder and junk." Well, there's some stuff to sort out first. There's this. I think I struggle a bit with this. I don't quite realize that, no, this is as pushed in as it's going to get. I also have to ask, what function does that serve? Like, it's a sliding door within a bookshelf. That makes sense. But usually the sliding door would be outward facing, not friggin' to separate, oh, your fiction from your nonfiction. Oh, here I am just floundering. Gooms eventually calls it out and is like, no, dummy, just go behind. It's easier to do it that from there. You can really see me struggling to click the box in such a way that the game recognizes that I want to shove the box rather than mount the box. But it honestly is way easier to just grab from the back. I didn't want to do that because then I'd have to freaking go over here, and now I have to freaking pull from this side. But really, just a matter of dealing with that. That being said, that was all for naught. Because, look, I'm going to try to climb this thing. It's like, okay, well, obviously, the goal is to be able to get up here and place an outlet there. But that is just too high for me to get. So, then I'm like, I can't interface with that. I walk over here and I'm like, okay, can I interface with this? Maybe I somehow knock that off, which makes no sense. If I were able to connect with that, I would only succeed in pushing that further in. So, unfortunately, all that buildup was kind of a waste of time because now I'm realizing, okay, maybe there still isn't anything I can do here. Would be useful if there was another book that I could just shove the hell over, but such is not to be. I do see this, and I see, okay, well, that's split into little thingies there. Maybe that's something I can climb up. Oh, I also tried wandering into the water. That's non-starter. I dress as a wrestler mostly because I can, and that's new and exciting. I look forlornly at the bookshelf again once more, like, maybe there's something. Maybe there's something. I see dirt. I see outlet. And there's another outlet way up there. There's trash. So here I'm seeing, okay, there's obviously a lot I can interact with. That item makes me curious. I'm not quite sure what that item that I don't really linger on is. Maybe it's another dust bag. Maybe it's a book that I shove the hell over. I don't know. But, and I take one more look. Here, Gooms observes, oh, items up there too, and on there. I don't know that I caught all of those. Gooms observes that probably the shelf will go in that spot I was just looking. I totally am dubious, totally slam my good buddy down, like, no, why would you think that? Okay, maybe not that mean. Here I realize I don't have a whole lot of time, but I do know of a book that I can push over. So I go in here. Open that sucker up, wander on in here, say hi to Skelton, but not actually interface with him. Shove that over and go. Only got a little bit of time. In we go. Acapella's soy box. Length 17 centimeters. Type alarm clock. Yearning the big city. Pride voice. Warning for noisy sounds. I had completely forgotten about Acapella's existence in this game to this point. So this was kind of an, oh, right. There's that weird toy robot that the real birds are screwing with. Kind of a weird subplot still. But anyway, here I'm like, okay, well, I want that thing, so I get that thing. I don't have a hell of a lot of time, so I'm just going to shove this over here and grab that thingy on top of Acapella's box. And it's a battery. Now, eventually, when we get to the point where we actually interact with Acapella, that might prove useful, but he is still in the upper reaches of Jenny's room, so out of reach. And just in time, once again, a victorious ending to the day. Everyone is duly impressed. We get 1,000,000 points for 1,000,000 cool guy points. And yeah, baby. Chibi-Robo rank is 227. No, it isn't. It's even less than that. Oh, yeah. Oh, the items you bought at the shopping channel have arrived. Air conditioner, baby. You know you love it. Let's see. And I kind of like that yellow one, but I was taking Gooms' input, and he suggested cyan, so that's probably the nicest one. And then here is the revolving shelf. Don't ask me what that does because I still don't know. Let's see. I quite like that yellow, and Gooms is politely goes, yeah, we can go with the yellow. Also, Space Rocket! Sort of makes it obvious to me that the whole point of that being there is that now you can get on top of the bed. As the new furniture arrived, the house became lovelier. A present from Citrosoft. Jenny's new clothes have arrived. Yay. Oh my gosh. I wonder what kind of clothes they are. Let's go look when you have some downtime in the daytime. Let's save. And the saving is done. And so another evening comes. You should make someone happy. Let's go. And that's someone I'm going to make happy. It's me. Oh yeah. Let's see. Do I blow a bunch of money right away? Oh, no. I am going to the AC, but once again I get distracted by this perpetually recurring spot of dust. All right, now pay attention. This is important. Well, I mean, you don't have to pay attention right now, but it will be on the test soon. Blah, 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 cleaning dust, blah, 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 who cares? All right, we're brought up to 82%, and I climb the hell up here. It's pretty great. You know you love to see it. That whole climbing montage. Dumb old Rodentias come back, and that's dumb. Not sure I missed that first time still. Even now, as I was watching it, it still kind of hit it. Alright, and there I go. Da, 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 da. Do it. Yeah. But given the option, I would rather be a wrestler. Now, right away, I noticed that it's kind of this weird, noxious gas coming out. So I hit that, close that, so I can walk over. And I'm like, okay, well, I closed that, but why did I close that? So obviously no benefit from that, so open it back up. A dumbass ghost flies out and is like, okay. Obviously I need to close it now. And then open it again to dispense more ghosts. But it's only just the one time. However, that's kind of an indicator that something's going on in here. So we wander on in. And there's dumb ghost. Ellipses. I really like what they do with Chibo emoting in this game. Chibi-Robo! Chibi-Robo, sorry to bother you like this. According to my calculations, click, 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 click. I thought it was very dirty for newly bought furniture. I made the same pronunciation mistake. I thought it was dirty. It looks like a dirt ghost was making it dirty. Sure makes a ruckus. That ghost. So this is actually kind of an interesting mechanic at play here. I started cotton onto it right away. It's like, oh, okay. So I want to try and clean this without being blown out. Additionally, you'll note that the dirt counter has not increased. In fact, this is the dirt that somehow was being counted beforehand. I don't quite get the logistics of how that works, but whatever. But note that if you do not clear it all at once, the dirt comes back. So you really do have to just clear it all in a single run. And it's going to take me a couple attempts to figure out how best to be doing this, but I don't know, it's a little weird. So the failure condition is that Chibo fails if he leaves. So I know he's being gusted out, but you see that once he hits the barrier, he just kind of walks out. And I know that not worth creating a whole new animation to communicate him being blustered out on his little Chibi-Robo, but at the same time, it just looks a little funny. Let's see. Yep, there we go. And you see that we're up to a full 91%, which is over what we were able to get beforehand. I think in this moment I realized that, oh, okay, so this is all, there are checkpoints that you're not able to get past. Chibi-Robo, you did it! Now we can be at ease for a while. It might become dirty again, but let's go see what Jenny and the others think of it now. Probably there's some sort of interaction in the daytime if you happen to get this and they're up to go, hey, this is dirty. You better clean this or we're going to sell you or whatever. But no, so what was I saying? Some sort of interaction where it's like, okay, there's they're able to you hit certain invisible checkpoints with certain amounts of cleanliness that you're not able to exceed unless you do something to progress the narrative, which is to say, acquire enough things to fill up the house and thus be able to explore more of it. Like I said, this session is really where I start putting things together and I start seeing that unlike the first Chibi-Robo, this game isn't as much driven strictly by its plot beats, but as much by how much cleaning you do. There's sort of a lot more confluence of the different themes at play of because the game wants you to be constantly cleaning. It's not something that exists in isolation the way that it often felt in the first game, like scrubbing up, I don't know, the water damage, water stains in the first game was like a thing you did to accrue happy points, and the happy points existed to build up, to work towards the chibi rank and stuff like that. But that was kind of its own thing that existed in separate conjunction with the actual plot line concerning the Sanderson family and the marriage crisis and all the toy subplots and all of that. So it's really sort of interesting. I'm sure I'll reiterate some of these points again a little bit later on, just as we hit points. By the way, first time encountering that that little black seed thing, I get very excited about that, and it really ends up not shaking out. You'll see why. Anyway, I'm sure I'll reiterate some of these thoughts regarding pacing and the systems coming together. But even this moment where I'm starting to realize what's going on, it's interesting. It's interesting that it's doing this and it's going for a lot of this. Let's see, doing a bit of cleanup there. Let's see, where is the last bit of dust? Luckily, at this point, I realize how I can look for dust by clicking on a bunch of wrong things before clicking on... Do I? Yes! I see it! I see it now. And then I go looking for dirt stains just to make sure that there aren't any more of those. And here's where I go, okay, so there must be some other thing that we have to get that the game is, or the game's hiding this from us. Strictly speaking, I suppose it's possible that they've just crammed 4 pieces of garbage in some of the drawers, but I don't think that's what they're going for. Oh, in fact, I do check here just to be sure. That one was 93%, another 1 dust, no trash, and 4 spots of dirt. So no trash, the dirt. The dirt is the main question of where that's going to be. Again, it's possible it's in some of these drawers. Do I check? I do check. Like, is this a dirt spot? Oh, right, okay. I do notice something in just a little bit here that kind of makes this retread worth it. Happen here. I'm like, oh, where am I going? Is it friggin'... Is there dirt in here? No. I'm like, I don't really want to check that upper drawer. I guess I will check that upper drawer. So go through all the trouble of summoning the cute little floaty televisione. He brings my cord up here. I almost overthink how that goes, and I'm like, nope, I don't. It just make it work. Just make it work, Con. Doopy doopy doo. And then see ya. All right, so here I'm like, oh geez, there's no stains in here. But wait, was that? And if you see where my cursor is pointing, you can see a little tiny shadow or a little tiny phantom thing down there. That is the drawer we were in previously. So what Gooms and I realize at this point is the way the game is setting up all of these rooms, it's rendered a... This is going to be a little bit confusing now. The way the game has set this up, it has a separate room that contains all of the area within the drawers as different, because the game needs to put every place you visit somewhere in the world. So, and that's fairly common where there will be a room that has, for example, for example, if you're in an RPG and you're exploring a lot of caves that are just a small area that you wander into, it would be a huge waste of space to have a bunch of different rooms within the game, one per each cave. So what a game will often do is it'll have a single area that contains all of the caves, and it's like, you go here, this is the cave room, and when you enter the north cave, it's in this spot of this map. If you go into the south cave, it's in this spot of the map, and so on and so forth. This game has done that sort of thing where it's organizing where it organizes all of the drawers in a single room. But the thing I found curious is that they actually went through the pain to have rough correlation between where the drawers are within this drawer room, I will say. Normally you just kind of put them wherever so that you can't really see them, but the distance between the drawer we were in and the next drawer down is approximately how it would be spaced out within the main living room area. By the way, you notice that I got exactly one moolah from that seed, so seeds are kind of lame. But anyway, yeah, so it was just a little bit of an extra detail that they didn't need to add, but is curious that they did add, and kind of neat. Gosh, they just summon a bunch of ghosts here. Again, I shouldn't complain because that feeds into the different systems at play, but I don't even go after him. I'm just like, okay, just frickin' go away. No one likes you. I actually wonder if the ghost despawns because it's fallen out of view or whatever. All right, so at this point, Gooms and I are like, all right, what all are we dealing with? Where all are these things going? We kind of look at the kid's desk and kid's chair. I think we're about to pick those up. And I'm like, okay. So Gooms was thinking, well, maybe those will add, those will, like what the air conditioner did and what some of the other things have done, maybe that'll give us access to more stuff in the world. In the moment, I'm thinking that's probably not the case, but we'll at least go ahead and pick those up. So I make a note after I poke around some more, like, okay, was this magic? Was this Kitchen Wagen? Blah 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 bleep bloop blap, poking around. And okay. I start with the kitchen wagon. That's interesting. Well, wait, I got the 18. I don't know why I left that on. Anyway. Then are like, kids desk, kids chair, do we go for that? I guess so. Okay, a minute. Yeah, you can see me waffling there in the video. But they're like, fine, 40, 41, whatever. Who cares? Dumb get Keith crap, whatever. I guess the child could use a desk. And yeah, Ghost is totally gone. Ghost ghosted us. I used that joke already. Well, whatever. Move on up here. Biddle beedle boodle bop, biddle beedle boodle bop. Hold up. I almost remembered, but then I didn't trust myself. But there we go. Okay. Purchase items will be delivered. You're a cool guy. We're gonna get you all the things. Yeah, man. What are you doing? Okay. Oh, I remember. Okay, so at this point, Gooms and I were talking like, okay, well, what are we? Because at this point, I've been focusing entirely on cleaning, and I'm mostly trying to figure out, all right, what are we doing here? Um, so uh, we've mostly been focusing on just doing cleaning stuff. Let's try and actually expand the plot. So naturally, we go into the kitchen to do some cleaning stuff. Oh, right. I initially wanted to check this because I couldn't remember if we'd actually explored on the inside. I know we'd stuck our head in, but I didn't think we'd done a whole lot. But no, there's nothing to see but skeleton here.
Don't bother me.
Nothing to interact with, so it's like, okay. Wander on out here. And let's do some more gosh darn cleaning. Yeah. Da da dee da dee da. Now it's interesting. We've the Wonder Timer gives us 15 minutes a day or 15 minutes a consciousness period, however you want to call it. But I also feel like there's just as a natural consequence of talking with people and stuff like that, you can almost double the amount of time you're spending uh, while Chibi-Robo's active in terms of real time. Since timer doesn't go down when you're talking with someone, when you're sieving, which I think is the really big thing. Um, Here I get horribly stuck on crap, and then let's see, do I make any realizations? Nah, I just decide to buzz. I'm going to go clean, but then I'm distracted by buzz. And the game is hinting, hey, you know you can get up there now, right? It's sort of weird that they just have a bee problem that I guess poor Jenny probably hasn't had time to actually look into that or anything. So doing a quick circuit here of vacuuming. I did tell you early on, lots and lots of vacuuming in this session. If you are a vacuuming aficionado, then buddy, you must be feasting. I don't know why you would be a vacuuming aficionado. But no judgment. It's all good. Everyone has their vacuumings. One wonders why dust specifically collects there. I mean, mechanically, obviously, it's whatever. But, like, within the lore of the house, I guess no one stands there? There's probably, if they put, like, a garbage bin there, maybe it would keep the dust off the floor, but, oh. Actually, in my experience, it's very rare to have a kitchen that doesn't have stuff crammed in the corner. Like growing up, let's see, on the kitchen floor there were two corners. One usually had food dishes for cats, and the other usually had like vegetables. So like our potatoes and onions would sit out there. Actually, there's a question. Is it better to have your potatoes out of the fridge or in the fridge? I always put mine in the fridge, but uh, onions for sure I would think would last longer in the fridge. I don't know why we didn't put them in the fridge. Maybe um, just needed space, and those kind of made sense to have out. I definitely oh totally lost that one gold flake. Uh, we have definitely had lots of potatoes just get eyes over the years. So like, I don't think it was our best plan of action, but maybe it is a freshness thing or something. Look, this is the sort of commentary you're going to get on our most of two in this uh, friggin' vacuuming commentary. So, okay. There's a mouse. I somehow forget that I'm in uniform. Speaking of uniform, I appreciate the extra detail that Chibi-Robo has white gloves on. I know that's a bit of a thing with Japanese police uniforms, um, but but like obviously Chibo doesn't have full on hands, but he has the little pincer claws, and those have little white gloves on it. I just think that's cute. Here I've settled on a spiral pattern rather than something more uh, polygonal. I couldn't think of that word. There I'm like, I see dust. However, that is just a lure. We have business at hand. Now, at this point, I'm thinking the puzzle is you bring Telly up so that he can get stung by the bees. I I don't claim to delight in inflicting pain on television, but it is funny. But no, Telly, you do not actively attempt to injure Telly. He really only suffers from his own hubris. Uh, I totally get Castlevania Medusa headed off, but thankfully, Telly holds firm, and we're able to just scramble right on back up. Why am I out of uniform? I don't know. All right, get ready for this. The most action intense scene ever. Buzz.
Hey, Robo! Those guys are dangerous, oink!
Action leap! Combat roll!
Bang, bang! Hey, you, are you harmed?
Nah, it's cool.
A bit longer and you would have been turned into scrap metal. They're flying around too much. The sound from the gun won't reach them, oink. We must get closer to them, or we won't be able to hit them.
Stop wiggling your butt in the camera. But yeah, bees essentially flying mice. Who would have thought? Luckily, the game's not super strict. The really Iberico here is just kind of sucks at taking the initiative and running up to enemies, but I mean, you can't blame him. He did a giant ass combat leap and combat roll there, so I'll give him some leeway. Anyway, he was just eating cookie the whole time.
Thanks for the meal. Huh? Robo, you saved me, Oink. That was tough, Oink. Bye-bye, Oink.
And he just struts away. Don't worry about it. Boy, Keith just gets to really weird places. He also writes really small. Like, I know he's a kid, but really small. So at this point, I'm a little bit like, wait, that's all we can explore up here? Well, I'll get this monies, but... yeah, money can't buy you happiness. Well, strictly speaking, that's completely untrue in this game. But now I'm like, okay, all right. What now do we do? Okay, we don't have a whole lot of time, so I ride my bike. Oh, right, I spotted that the friendly little baby ghost way from it in the corner, so naturally I hop in here. And get some monies. Really has been a while since we've been to the casino. Maybe we should do that next session. But anyway, still looking at not a whole lot of time. What can I do? I know, vacuum. There hasn't been enough of that yet. Like I said, it's an easy thing to do. It is what you do. It's your main money maker in this game. So this is the game you're playing. Let's see. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh yeah. There's less dust now. Are we going to top off? Or top out? Bottom out? Not yet. But soon. I tried to resist. You can see that I was like, okay, let's go take of that other stuff. No, I'll just take care of this stuff here. Friggin' opal, gold. Little bit more. Just continuing to groove, little dude. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else have we noticed. So, like I said, it's interesting that so much of this, like, I spent a lot of this session really feeling like, okay, because I'm getting distracted with all this vacuuming and stuff, I'm not actually making progress. But like I said, the way you progress is through upgrading the house rather than through doing specific story things or interacting with specific characters. There's a bit of that, but it's not just that. Um, so in a way, this is just as valid a means of advancing the narrative as everything else. Now, Gooms made the observation, I think this was off stream, or right after we'd wrapped up, so I don't mind saying it here, but Gooms made the observation that the way this game makes for an interesting counter study with the original Chibi-Robo, because in a lot of respects, this game feels smaller than what the console one is going for. But that makes sense if you look at it from the perspective of this is designed as a handheld experience. Come on, just back up. There you go. Friggin' heck. This makes sense being designed as as a handheld experience. So it's fine to design this as something that you just engage with in bite-sized chunks. I believe the comparison that came to mind for me was when we ran through Sims Busting Out and the Herbs before, how a lot of those have narratives and actually quite a bit of character-driven stuff, but that's also a lot of that is also more specifically tied to, or because it's designed with the expectation that this is just something you're futzing with while you're on a car ride or something like that. As a consequence of that, there's a lot of the actions and the way the narrative is presented in relationship to the actions is it's all very small adventures. Sadly, I run out of time before I can scrub that. It's all very small adventures and focused around smaller actions and that sort of interplay. And it's kind of an interesting design space where this does feel like a smaller adventure, but I don't think you're supposed to directly compare it to the console game. Also, we're now in double digits, and I was very excited about that. We'll see that in just a sec. Here we go. Good morning. Oh! Da-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da. Your Chibi-Robo rank is reached the top 100! Blue! Wonderful, wonderful! In celebration of you entering the top 100, a bonus has arrived from Citrusoft. It's the same bonus as every time. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Do a cool dance because you got 220. Your battery has been upgraded to contain a maximum of 220 watts. Doopy-doopy-doopy-doopy-doo. Furthermore, using the maintenance machine, the plug's length can now be extended to 3 meters. Let's strive to reach Chibi-Robo rank 1. Oh! The items you bought at the TV shopping show have arrived. Da-da-da-da-da. So here we see the kitchen wagon. We'll interact with that in a bit. What do we settle on? Probably not that one. I think red. Yeah, red. Kitchen wagon seems like the most auxiliary thing to get. Oh, and here's the kids' desk. You can see that it hasn't actually changed. It's just a reskin. But again, you go through all the different colors there, and no matter what, it looks way nicer than what you had before. Here, Gooms is recommending, oh, do the yellow and green. And I'm like, which one is yellow and green? Because he means D, obviously, but to my eyes, it just looks like a single solid color. So there's a little bit of confusion there. Also, with the new audio setup, I was having trouble hearing him on my end. So I kept having to do things like, okay, so D as in so not B, you mean D. So maybe I do have some more futzing to do there. Oh well. But yeah, so eventually it's like, okay, this is what you mean. That's fine. But again, looks way nicer. And no matter what, that chair, also nice. I appreciate that the colors, I think, all match the respective color palettes of the desk. Like they got matching furniture matching. That's nice. Da-da-dee-da-dee-da. Oh! As the new furniture arrived, the house has become lovelier. A present from Citrusoft. The house can now store up to a maximum of 900 watts. So again, much appreciated that those naturally complement each other and keep increasing and that sort of stuff. So I think by this point, Gooms and I had started talking about how we were going to really hone in on, um, well, there's no functional, how to say this? In terms of exploration, upgrading extant things doesn't change anything. However, aesthetically, it does a lot, and it contributes to adding permanent happy points, and that still generally improves the state of the family overall. So we start deciding, okay, well, once we've run out of new pieces of furniture, we're really going to hone in on upgrading the existing pieces of furniture to just really drive home how much we're cleaning up here. Also, this time I do not wait, I just go and max out my butt. The butt, the gluteus, has been maximisted. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It's marvelous. Well done. Let's go. All right. Don't be shy. You got this. Go. Be brave. Do it. Wander out into the world. Yeah, there we go. Oh! Everyone is gathered around the table for some reason. And there we first see Jenny's really nice business suit. Aww. Even just that much, you really get a sense for how much you're doing for the family. Well then, everybody, the wait is over. Now, family meeting number 5 will begin. Hee hee. Wow, whoa, oh my god, whoa. Woof. Now, as always, let's start with the very popular savings tournament. Doesn't anyone have something they want? Here I'm thinking, well, Lucky should get something, but ellipses. No, nothing in particular. But if I must say something. Must say something? My dad! Dun dun dun! No problem. Please leave it to us. Yeah, no, I was with Chibo on this one. Oh, wait! What should I say? Hey, you. Whimper. Oh. Right, right. It's time for work. What's with this atmosphere? Bye. So, yeah, that had kind of been simmering for a while, but um, now the subtext turns into text. Chibi-Robo! That bath cleaned you up real good, huh, Lucky? You're finally free from that foul smell. My nose was about to give up, but I was saved at the last moment. Oh, freaky. Woof. Bye. There, I just wanted to see if Lucky still watches his dog show. I hold the plug, and I immediately regret it. Yep. Nope. Immediately, I'm... little indecisive. Now what I actually want to do is go this way. Where am I going? No one can be sure. Well, no, I can be sure. I'm gonna do this thing. Right, that's right. I made this decision to send in another campaign. My options are windmill, curtain, or fireplace. So that I send this in and then I buy other stuff. So that this is one thing that I know that I'm working on this. I won't interface with these things when I go to buy stuff. Now at this point, I believe I should be doubling back. But I have been wrong before. Nope, there we are. Bicicleta. Oh, no, I've gotten distracted. Here, Gooms points out, you could at least interact with him. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh, it looks like the tomato sales have increased. You have sold 3 green tomatoes. You earned 450 moolah from the sales. You got 450... what? The big city is real large. With a size like that, I'm sure it'll be possible to miss those who pass by.
Here it occurred to Gooms, oh, he thinks this is the big city. When he's talking about the big city, he's referring to the house. And here I'm just double checking to make sure he doesn't have anything else to say. I remember what I was doing, actually. So my immediate concern was check on Keith, make sure he's okay. I swung by the post box just to drop off that just to drop off the prize sticker. I almost went outside, was like, I'll check his room first. And that ends up being a mistake because there is a cutscene. It's rather lively around here for some reason. Let's get closer and see what's going on.
That's what I said.
What's going on?
Shut up! Just shut up!
See ya!
Oh, how dare you! You know these guys?
You know these guys. I'm getting my voices mixed up.
Of course I know them. They're the ones who made me drift down here.
Wow, you're not as bad as you look.
Ha ha ha! No, they're not bad. Not!
Why am I settling on this voice for? Oh, whatever.
Why did you do that to me?
Now this is the real Poochie voice.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Anyway, are you planning on causing trouble for me again now? My pupil is no villain.
Then why did they do that to me if I hadn't done anything?
Must have been waiting on hearing him respond. Or was he saying that? Or I was thinking. Yeah, okay.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. My pupil's eyes tell me that you indeed did something.
Pupil, pupil, pupil. Just shut up, you. Lately, even Keith doesn't care about you anymore. Does that mean he's looking up to some other guy nowadays? Oh, aren't boys mean?
No, that's not how it is.
Your only pride now is that you used to be the champion. And that's why Keith doesn't care about you any longer. Am I wrong?
Ah!
Ho, 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 ho.
All right, I completely forgot something. I actually have a fight starting right now. Tomorrow I'll be the champion. Anyway, I'm in a hurry. See you later.
Au revoir! That's kind of low.
Humph! I guess I can tell you guys. That fight or whatever, it's such an obvious lie. I can tell because he's always just playing around. He should show some signs of seriousness from time to time. I guess I can.
And she just reiterates this, so it's like the plot thickens. So I clock that the rocket is there and that I can interact with it, but first I'm like, garbage. Let's go on a garbage run. A nightly garbage run? Not quite. Banana. Nice. Let's see, do I go for the dust up? Nope. I go for the rocket ship. Nope. Immediately get distracted. I'm telling you, it's just so gosh darn easy. Okay, now for realsies. We've been fooling around long enough. It's time for the rocket. Okay. Surprisingly plush in there. What exactly are they expecting to keep cozy? I like that she gets excited about the rocket. That's cool. I don't even know how the plug is doing that, but don't worry about it. Anyway, bed. Oh, okay. I see now that the things that the game considered items when we were looking at this from the floor like a day ago or whatever, it was counting those coins, the moolah coins up on the banister. I don't think I grabbed them in this session, so I'll have to remember that for next time. But yeah, if nothing else, I'm able to make a ton of progress here. His room has become pleasantly sparkling clean. Clean, clean, clean. 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 In TV shopping, a vacuum chip 4 is now in stock. Okay, so now here I'm like, okay, so, oh, well, first it's going to be like, oh my god, this bed is so clean, it's pretty. Congratulations. Keith has a really friggin' tall bed. It's like a bunk bed where he's on the top bunk, but it's also built like a cradle. It's kind of weird. Anyway, oh yeah, I'd been hoping to fall on that, but I instead missed. Oh well, what you gonna do? My initial plan had been to so friggin' family meeting. Keith's obviously upset. I'm gonna go check on him. I'm in the hall. Oh, I should post a prize sticker thingy while I'm here. All right, now to Keith. Do I go to Keith in the backyard or his room? I'll go to the room. Oh, there's stuff going on. Oh, well, I can grab garbage here, and I can also take the rocket to the top of the bed here. That's something. Ironically, that proved to be useful, so because now I've unlocked Vacuum Chip 4, I want to prioritize that, so I'm going to make a beeline. Keith can wait for me to get this chip before I check up on the poor kid. Puppy dog's just living his best life. Rock on, puppy dog. Here I assure him not to worry, we will change back once we are done. Alright, so here I'm like, oh, vacuum chip. Friction will be lowered for increased cleaning speed, which is weird, but whatever. That'll be nice. So then we start looking through, okay. we've gotten all of the furniture that's actually salient. What do we prioritize next? Do we go for floors? Do we go for for in terms of refurbished things? Do we go for floor? Oh, wait, no. Here I catch. If you notice, Chibi Windmill 2 is now listed as sold out, as though we had bought it. We hadn't bought it, but it was one of the options on the prize sticker. So here we have accidentally found a way to find out early what you have won on the prize sticker. It's interesting to me that the game immediately decides what you've won and doesn't wait until the following night to decide it, or the following time interval to decide it. It does make it so that you can't accidentally screw yourself over and buy the thing you've gotten, but it's just kind of a funny way to accidentally cheese it. Anyway, here we are looking at, we're trying to decide, okay, what do we prioritize? Do we go for floors? Do we go for refabbed furniture? Or do we go for wallpaper? Goom suggests wallpaper, and I like that idea, so that's what we go with. Then we're like, okay, what specifically do we go for? Living room for sure. Then, yeah. I finally got rid of that. And all of those other dumb things. Seven? Oh, right. 7 and 13. 7 for the chip, 13 for the wall. I was right now. Habba-dabba-dab. So here I make a vital decision, and I'm like, I will get rid of some dirt. And I get weirdly lucky. So I don't have a whole lot of dirt. However, the act of so doing is just about to tip me over into being able to afford another thingy, and we will see the consequences of that soon. But just a little bit. Why am I Oh, right. And we see another tooth. Here, just sort of accept that there's going to be dirt. Actually, all right, I try to get real fancy about it and lob it way the hell down there, but it's just out of reach. So then I'm like, okay, well, fine, I'll do this one. Plug that in, bada bing, bada boom. And I go to vacuum only. It's actually disappeared. So it seems the piles of dust from sifting through dust, they will actually disappear on you if you just turn the camera off screen. So if you're not feeling up to cleaning after yourself every time, you don't have to. I guess I appreciate that you can't actually contribute to waste like that. Just, but in my case, I will probably still almost always go for the low-hanging fruit. All right, so like I said, crucially, I have enough money to get 2 wall papes. So we slide on up here. Deep, 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 deep. All right, so naturally, these 2 things I remember. Chip is 7. Family or living room wallpapers, 13. And then I'm like, okay, what's another wallpaper? Basically, I'm trying to reach out for things without actually calling it. 26. I know I remember that, but I'm like, no, kitchen wagon, I don't care. 26. And I'm like, it's 30, 32 is 34 or something. That's toilet. Honestly, a guess. Make a jump, 32. washing machine. So we move on to the next one, and boom, I'm awesome. Okay, it's a very minor thing to be impressed by, but what you gonna do? So then I'm like, okay, we have some unfinished business. We have to make sure a kid is happy. What's with all the noise?
Hey, you!
I forgot there's something going on. Oh, right, his siren's going. Woo, woo.
That way's dangerous, oink! A kidnapping has occurred under the kitchen sink!
So once again, the game is pulling me away. It's so cool. Game is pulling me away from trying to make sure a sad kid is not sad. But I was like, oh, okay, friggin' fine. I'll take a look at what's going on here. Be in uniform just to make sure that there isn't any trouble, because frickin' Iberico gets trigger happy. Now here's something you don't see every day. A crime scene. Pig. You will, of course, remember that that is where a full ham shank was. That now isn't.
That's dangerous, oink! That's dangerous, oink!
Ba-da-ba! Bang, bang!
Chibi-Robo! Oh! What's going on? Iberico!
My very close friend Boneless has been kidnapped, oink!
Bing, 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 bing.
Boneless is the ham that used to be here.
Who are you?
I'm Telly.
Oh, alright. Alright.
Alright, and here's where stuff cuts out. Internet connection, some of the stuff that you've been seeing in the last couple episodes. Really hope that gets solved at some point, but whatever. Anyway, you basically didn't miss anything. He leaned down to take a sniff to try and find some evidence.
It seems like the kidnapping occurred sometime last night.
Really bad idea doing a pop thingy right in front of a trigger-happy officer.
Incredible! You can tell just from the smell.
And by a crime scene.
As expected from a pig detective. Such a powerful nose. Chibi-Robo, let's aid him.
Yeah, okay, we'll look for your ham shank.
Please go ahead, Detective Iberico.
And then the most horrifying thing happens. He consumes the dead body.
He ate it!
Again, Chibo speaks for all of us.
Thanks for the meal. Huh?
I think finally he realizes what he is. Da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dun.
Now, you guys. Do you know who the culprit is? In this puzzling kidnapping case? It seems like that guy is connected, oink. Huh? You're asking who I mean? That's what I'm trying to figure out, oink.
Okay, so maybe he doesn't realize he's a cannibal.
Bye-bye, oink.
But, like,
He is so cool.
we don't act upon it, but not. I've got my suspicions on who the culprit is here. And I'm sure you do too. But we won't worry about that. Finally, at most of the way through the day, well, actually, no, I get distracted again. Remember, at some point, I want to make sure that the kid who misses his dad um, is doing okay. But now I'm like, well, there's a kitchen wagon. I have to check and see what's going on with the kitchen wagon. See, bring that over to this side. So my immediate thought is, oh, well, okay, obviously I can use this as some sort of platforming mechanism now. Except, no, it's dastardly and you can't actually get up there. Do I go in the drawer? No, I don't. I am a man of a single-minded pursuit to get up there. Now, strictly speaking, really all that I have to do to get up there is, I think there's a helpful telly somewhere nearby, so that's what I should be using, but it's okay. However, here we come across an interesting interaction. Now, unless I miss my mark, the bottom one always moves us to the, I guess, right, while the top one always moves us to the left. So now this serves as a decent way of getting on in there. Well, I can at least look in the Kniffy drawer. Wouldn't you know it? There's stuff. I don't know why she's got entire rolls of, like, multiple rolls of duct tape. Like, if you've got one, you're usually okay, but, oh. Oh, it's useful sealant. Let's see, and you can just faintly see the other drawer down there. And I think I look to the right here, and you can just barely make out underneath the sink. Again, it's kind of cool that they, for no reason whatsoever, maintained consistency with where these drawers would be spaced with one another in this nether realm. Okay, do I finally remember to check on the child now? Yes, do it. Do it. Make sure that kid is okay. Friggin' heck. Okay. Except no, because I get distracted again. I'm like, oh yeah, tomatoes. Well, I'll just do a tomato. Honestly, not sure where I got the red tomato from. Probably in a previous session. I do not remember it. I also waste a bit of time here forgetting that I'm supposed to be watering these tomatoes instead of jamming for them. I think even at this point I'm like, wait, no, I'm supposed to be watering. Well, let's see what happens. Naturally, as you probably remember, you jam out in order to get the weird little bipedal dudes to turn into plants. In this case, you just friggin' squirt the snot out of these tomatoes. Keep her going. Keep her going. Gooms and I also were quite curious as to where the doilies come from. For that matter, why is there ribbon that they're all nice and tied up in junk? But we won't worry about that. I wonder if, and I don't do this here, but I wonder if painting the tomatoes, the green tomatoes, like we did to trick habanero, if there's any habanero, yeah, to trick habanero, if there's anything to that. No, wait, we tricked the shark, not habanero. Boy, that shark just does not luck out. What was I saying? If you paint the green tomatoes, try and ship those. I wonder if that actually goes somewhere. Also, I don't know if we just lost the red tomato. I guess next time we talk to Ketchup, we'll have to see if how much money we get. 900 would be just the green tomatoes. Okay, finally.
There's a soccer tournament for children this holiday. Don't get hit by the ball and snap in half. He's so violent. Chibi, don't interrupt my special training. It's gonna be bad if I hit the flowers. Mom will get angry. And I'm pretty sure you won't get the blame for it, Chibi. And he just repeats. So, I mean, we can't comfort Keith. The game sadly won't let us do that, but and I even grab another acorn here. I really should just try throwing one of them out. But yeah, just Keith bums me out. Whatever the situation is with his dad, it's obvious he's kinda on the cusp of going down a dark road. Anyway, it's been a while since we've actually done some digging, so let's do some digging. Do I get distracted? I do get distracted. Frabjiste. Oh, actually, Gooms asked here, well, can you plant the acorn? And no. But then, glorious day, I get distracted. So, with some fish bones. Yeah, that definitely threw me. But you know, it would be really super cruel if it turns out those fish bones were because we did not feed the clownfish, or we missed a feeding session with the clownfish. I hope that's not the case. I guess we will have to check next session. And also, here is a greed token to remind you that yes, the casino is a thing. But there are just so many plot threads to this game that I just keep blanking on. But here, let's see. What do I do here? There? Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Goobs and I were here figuring out what to do and go past this guy. I think here I remember. Okay. We'll do one last sweep for Telly. No. I decide I want to talk to Skulton and try my luck again. just in case.
I happened to see a habanero at the casino. I wonder what I should say. Perhaps. By the way, you want to test your luck, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Blip, blip. Blah. And we actually get some happiness.
You're living a nice and safe lifestyle, huh? You're hardly lost any happy points. I will safely give you 1 happy point. How about being a bit more adventurous? I'm sure luck is on your side today. Rare gems will appear. Yeah, probably.
And here I'm like, well, crap. I guess we have to vacuum. I don't know. I guess it's a bit like going into Sonic Adventure and being like, well, crap. I guess we have to go fishing. It's not a bad thing. Maybe that's what you're here for. Oh, maybe you're a big stand for Sega Bass Pro Fishing. I ain't gonna judge. You do you, man. You do you. That being said, let's see. There's not a lot of dust to accrue. Time is starting to dwindle, and I'm starting to see. Okay, crap. I'm going to have to do this careful.
It's a quick vacuum. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hurry, dude. Okay, that's 2. And I'm kind of right at the trigger going, okay, I'm gonna have to hit the sieve as soon as I hear it starting to beep. Because you'll remember it goes beep, 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 beep. And here I'm like, okay, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? Oh my gosh, it's happening. Bada bing, bada bing, bada bing. And I almost get it, but I totally bungle it there. I think if I had stayed in that menu, I would have been able to make it to the sieve and sieve some stuff. But at this point, I decided, okay, well, luck holds for a day, so it's probably going to be okay. Probably I just have to remember to unsieve stuff at night. You can also see that our Chibi rank is descending a lot quicker. Oh! You won prize A from the celebrity campaign. Now this, again, the game totally leaked this. I was just like, yeah, I called it. Okay, I know how to cheese the system. So that'll be a big help. That means you bought at the TV shopping show have arrived. Vacuum chip 4. Much more improved from the previous models. With this, the floor vacuuming speed will increase. We get to swap out the wallpaper here. A couple different designs. What do we go for? It is interesting how, I guess it makes sense with wallpaper that they are going to be such different designs from one another instead of just color variations. I like that there's a difference in pattern. Honestly, seeing all these again, you really see how much of an improvement it is to get these variations. How even beyond the aesthetics, just the fact that it's not all cracked and junk, really makes the colors suddenly pop out and feel a lot more alive. Oh! As the new furniture arrived, the house has become lovelier. A present from Citrosoft. Lucky's celebrity clothes have been delivered. Kapow! I wonder what kind of clothes they are. Let's go look when you have some time during the over in the daytime. So here we save, and the saving is done. That was some hard work. And so another evening comes, lots of riches to be made. Let's go. But that actually ends up being where we leave it for this session. Gooms and I spend a bit of time just talking through, is this a good place to stop? Yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. So let's stop here. So here you have me reflecting a little bit on some of the things I was talking about throughout, where it's just really kind of neat to see all the different systems at play and how much there is actually careful interplay between all of these things. Gooms, I believe, is largely articulating the same sort of stuff. Since I've covered that throughout, oh, and you can see here, this is where I should have been checking for money. You can see it on the left side there. I also get a bit distracted noting, oh, we have all of the chips. There's no more room on the UI. Probably there's at least 10 bags of dust there, given the spacing. A little metagamey, but that's okay. I guess, well, past me and past Gooms are giving final thoughts. I'll go ahead and just say, to those of you who are watching this, and especially those of you who've made it this far in, I really appreciate the fact that you're doing so. Like I said, I recognize that these Chibi-Robo videos aren't getting a whole lot of attention. Chibi-Robo is kind of a small series, and I think, sadly, I think the biggest cultural impact it had is Scott the Woz taking the piss on Ziplash. Fully deserved, but yeah. But the original game is a very special game for both Gooms and I, Gooms and me. both of us grew up with it separately, and it's just kind of oh, we both really like this, and this was something we could share. Um, Heartbreaking as a series that it never really got anywhere else, but this game seemed like the one exception, and so far as I can see, it really feels like it's trying for its own thing, um, or it really is largely succeeding at being a sequel to the original game, maintaining that tonality and that sort of stuff. Um, so this has been a lot of fun for us to explore, but I know that there isn't a huge audience of people in general who are watching this. So to those of you who are sitting it through, whether this is a game you're familiar with or you're just watching it because of all of the hard work my friends have put into making designing for a thing, I really appreciate that you've given us the attention and help my friends find a little corner in the internet to make something of themselves. This is those guys' passion and really what they're doing. And this is my passion as well. Um, but and I love helping out my friends. Um, I recognize it's not the same for me as it is for them. For me, this is usually something I'm doing on the side, whereas for those guys, it's something that they're dedicating their whole professional efforts towards. So I try to do what I can to help out as I can, and keeping up with the live streams that are running in addition to the series that Pierre has started up on YouTube. Keeping up the Twitch live streams, I feel, is something that I can do to really help out in our own way. Um, so, oh, we've run out of footage. I guess I'll just keep going. So I just really appreciate that everything that, or I just appreciate that you've been sitting in and watching these, and I hope that you continue. If you're not watched these, at least watch the main channel stuff. Again, those guys put in so much hard work into this stuff that every little bit that you can means a lot to them and means a lot to me as well. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for bearing with me on this weird director's cut, extra cut blah thingy. And like I said, night of, um, thank you for tuning in. We hope y'all had fun, and we will catch you on the next stream. Take care.